Hello there, folks, and welcome to ZSR. We've got another lovely match for you today. We have also some lovely commentators here for you. Things are going to get started in just a moment.
Oh, hey, that's us. Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another Cross Keys tournament race between jkoper and BobertJoe. This is a loser's bracket round one race, of which I did not do my homework and research who they lost to, but this should be a fun race. Both of them are actually pretty competent runners with, I believe, tough matchups in the first round, so looking forward to it. How are you doing today, Residador?
I'm doing good. I came in with your research, don't worry. So, jkoper lost to Chloe Prower, and BobertJoe was taken down by R.D. Walsh in the first round. And I know Coper has been around for a little bit for entrance. He's, since before Crossworld was a thing. BobertJoe's a little bit newer to the mode, but has been picking it up pretty well. So, should be an interesting race.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think this is actually the only one of the night, so it's prime time for us. So looking forward to seeing, like I said, jkoper. I actually raced him in the last tournament, so I definitely know he's been around for a while. I'm looking forward to see if they have what their starts tend to be. So we're going to get started with a red boomerang in Link's house and 300 rupee in the sanctuary.
Well, neither runner doing the hula hand start that a lot of people do, but that 300 in the sanctuary makes it a little less vital, so that's all right.
Yeah. Oh, and free bombs at the mushroom spot, which happens to be right where sanctuary is. So it's pretty nice and easy bomb rupee start for both of our runners. And it looks like Bobbert's going to go straight down into the castle and get his dang phone.
And Coper found the back of a desert over right next to the lake, and is just going to take that key for a possibility of key stealing. It's not one I'm a super fan of, but some people have taken to doing that and taken the opportunity to possibly reset if they find desert in a convenient place to check and see what's over there. And we got a sword out of the back of Escape, so that's great for a start to an entrance seed, because you can never be guaranteed to have a sword before 2 hours in some of the worst seeds that are around.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we're getting all this nice stuff early, so I'm sure we'll get plenty of stuff that we won't get later.
Oh, we found a connector already. You'll see if BobertJoe is gonna dive right in there. He's not too far away from Sanctuary, so it wouldn't be the worst kind of route cut off. He could still get back to it pretty quick. Looks like he may be marking it down on his tracker.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it for later. So it looks like.
So far, nobody's really charging Kakariko, which is where the largest concentration of entrances are to start with. They're just checking everything out in the area. Looks like the ferry at the Lumberjack, so we don't have to do Aghanim 1, at least for that reason, so that's good news.
Yep, the only other possible reason is if we happen to need it to get over to Eastern Dark World, which is a very rare, even rarer occurrence in entrance than it is in regular.
Or for the most obscure and fun reason of all, to remove the barrier from the Aghanim's Tower entrance if you can't get a hold of a Master Sword or Cake.
Oof, yep, that is the other option.
We've seen that. Sorry, go ahead.
Looks like we got a small key to Hyrule Castle early, which isn't actually going to be needed really, but we got it, as well as 2 Meyer keys, which is always interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say we've seen that situation with the Aghanim's Tower exactly one time out of many, many races. Looks like Coper's going to go ahead and fake flipper over here and dive right into this entrance. Have they found Ganon's Tower yet? Or Ganon himself, I mean?
No, not that I've seen. Must be in either Kakariko or the Pyramid.
So it was interesting that he dove right down like that without knowing, but he got rewarded with the Kakariko Well, which is great, and a Master Sword.
He might be planning on saving quitting out of here directly anyway. Is that a big key to pod as well?
Also, those Meyer keys not really functionally great, but they do kind of get your senses going for possibly the Firelock side of Mire, which is not in logic until you get all 3 keys. So it's sort of like a bit of trivia as far as the entrance logic goes or the Keysanity logic goes that might give you some ideas of where something good might be.
So both of our runners dropping down the same hole and ending up in 2 different places. Gotta love Houlihan. We do have an early Master Sword though, so that eliminates another of the options when we need to do Aghanim 1. And that was indeed a Pod Big Key.
jkoper's going back to the lake here. I don't think he checked this entrance yet. Oh, maybe he did. He's going here to buy a bomb.
He wants some bombs, yeah.
Yeah, going ahead and Houlihaning anyway, but despite that 300, because there are a number of things that you might have to buy early. The bottle vendor's items, some bombs. If you should happen to make get early access to Zora, he can always pop up as far as needing to buy his item.
Yep. So he's going to spend the time checking the rest of the eastern area.
Yeah, this is one of the light world areas that you'd want to clear out when you don't have a glove, because you're less likely to orphan an entrance. So it's never really like bad timing to go into the eastern.
Yep.
Finds King's Tomb. So one item here. It's going to be just a heart container. Still nothing to sneeze at. You could end up early in the dark world, even as a bunny, without being able to defend yourself. So extra hearts, not a problem.
Yep. Looks like Bob's going to also follow suit and head to the eastern area and get some bombs out of that.
Alright, nothing on Lake Hylia Island, so that's something off their mind. Alright, we got Bonk Rocks in Eastern Palace, just a heart container. So I'm interested to see how long these guys are going to put off going to Eastern. They might be trying to see if they can drum up a flute or something more helpful for when they're in town. So it always feels bad to have to walk back to town after clearing it out.
Yeah.
So far, they haven't found much of interest, though. Just a few keys.
Back at desert, a couple connectors. Is that the old man cave start?
It is indeed. So we have found our way to Death Mountain. Not logically just yet, but who cares about that? We've got a sword. This is pretty easy to do backwards and forwards with a sword. And that opens up quite a bit of entrances on West Death.
It should be an interesting treasure trove and a fairly convenient spot since that was about to save him quite out of.
Yeah, much better than finding it at Eastern when you haven't cleared the last entrance in the. Oh man, not giving us anything of consequence so we won't have to worry about what's behind the lamp. Ooh, blind set.
However, one of our 3-5 chest locations is open.
We'll have to see what the logical way up here was. Usually it's a connector. It could also be the flute or the lamps just sitting in Kakariko.
I'm guessing flute sitting in Kakariko somewhere.
Have to see if the mountain gives us any good items. Blind's Hut not giving us anything whatsoever.
Yeah, it was a very unhyped Blind's Hut.
We do have about 6 or 7 more entrances we can check. A couple as a bunny if you really want. But you're not really, you can't do much as a bunny, but there is bunny logic in place. You can be expected to travel through connectors, one of which we just found that goes to the Lost Woods. There's the other end of that. So here's our logical access to the mountain.
Yep, that made that pretty easy.
But you can be expected to talk to NPCs, push blocks, as in Checkerboard Cave, pick up a freestanding item, such as in Hammerpeg Cave, or travel through connectors, like the one you just saw, like any connector that doesn't have anything blocking it. And you can be expected to mirror in random spots in order to possibly get your pearl or something leading to your pearl. So, bunny logic, very fascinating at times. Sometimes you can break it pretty handily, but we got to see where the pearl is going to be today to see how deep we're going to get in here.
Yep, and Bobbert did follow suit behind jkoper, as she could be doing the same checks. Probably.
It's always interesting that they're going to get the mountain cleared before they even go near Kakariko. Tower of Hera and Ice Palace are 5/6 crystals we learned from the bomb shop guy on Death Mountain here, which means if the pyramid crack comes into play, it is going to require the. We may see a hint at some point about the crack in the pyramid, and which will tell us whether or not it's relevant. That being one of the spots that's on the list of bad or hard to get to spots that has a higher chance of having a hint about it.
We do have the laser bridge entrance of Turtle Rock pretty easily available as well. So it's always a nice thing to find early. Gets you some. Okay, that's not technically in logic, but hey, it's a boon pearl.
Yeah, speaking of breaking pearl logic, jkoper doing the bane of my existence laser skips. I really hate these.
These are one of the first things I learned when I was learning entrance random. Just because you find it so much.
Yeah, I'm still fairly inconsistent with them. I have the basic concept down. Interestingly enough, the chest that the most important item here that we found so far, the Moon Pearl, was in, is one that you can actually iframe damage through, which is such a lifesaver. You can actually get the top and the bottom chests by falling off the ledge and just walking up to them and not have to do the laser.
So now I'm assuming at some point here we're gonna see a cape or the Kana Brian, I should say.
Well, they also already have one shield, so it could be the mirror shield, depending on how these pieces all. Now, the fun part is how deep is the invincibility item, because they could have just skipped all kinds of shenanigans to get that pearl. Looks like BobertJoe did not get that pearl, though. Wasn't he on laser bridges?
I believe so, yeah.
He may not know the iframe trick, but yeah, that's pretty easy trick. Just fall off the ledge and just walk through before you are before you're done taking with the invincibility frame.
Yeah, jkoper's having a bit of a problem with his top one too, though he could also have just iframed it himself, because you can also do the top one, I believe, with a similar method.
Yeah, BobertJoe saved and quit without doing the laser bridge, unfortunately, so he apparently does not know that either trick. Alright, so we're going south on BobertJoe's side. We're going to get a... Well, that's super key. jkoper already, jkoper already got. And looks like the pearl was pretty much the best thing that we found on the mountain. jkoper could take that pearl to the Dark World right now, which I think he actually thought of right before he saved and quit, because there are 2 entrances up here in the Dark World that he can now check in and possibly get items from.
Yep, he's heading there now.
Gonna get a mini Moldarm Cave check. I don't believe we've seen this yet. It's just the blacksmith, so that's not going to come into play for a little bit. That entrance actually only being able to be locked by a glove because of the digging game in the Dark World. You can't be expected to find any extra items just to be safe. BobertJoe unfortunately taking a death from a crab before he could get much from.
Crabs are scary. I think we are finally going to get a Kakariko visit, though. While Koper found the top of Spiral Cave at the bottom of Death Mountain. So he gets another connector for his trouble.
Yeah, this is one of the worst connectors to run across when you're like in the middle of a route, because it's like, do I skip this and maybe take a long walk back to it later, or do I go ahead and take a long walk through it now and cut off whatever else I was?
I did get a fairy and a bottle for it. It's not the best bottle to get early on, since you are going to want to depth warp out of a lot of dungeons if you find them, but it's good to have a bottle for Sick Kid if you run into him. And it is also good to find a path to East Death Mountain, which also happens to have Paradox Cave, which is where he has ended up now.
Okay, so jkoper's going down a really long and deep hole here before he gets to Kakariko. He keeps finding.
And I guess we'll see what we're missing. He's missing on Bob's side.
So far, not too much, but Bob has a lot of buildings to go. We've got a bow, though.
Always nice to have the bow. Especially with a pod big key in tow. He only needs the hammer to finish pod now. And technically a lamp, but he's good enough to not need one, I'm pretty.
Got Quake on the bottle vendor. That may come into play if they find a connector to Mire. It wouldn't be able to be used for Turtle Rock.
There is the protection to get to Laser Bridge.
Well, that is.
I guess that's not logic, is it?
Yeah, depending on where the other entrance of Paradox is, it might be.
Yeah, that's fair.
We know it's not in logic from going through Spiral Cave, because going through Spiral Cave as a bunny is not going to be in logic at any point, mainly because you couldn't be expected to tank the damage safely through that.
Right.
And
However,
it is in logic.
That makes it in logic right there. It looks like he's gonna turn around and go down to, or no, he's gonna go head back to East Death Mountain and to do those checks. He won't be able to get back here from there because it's behind the 2 lift rocks which require the mitts. However, he can now get there from south Light World.
Yeah, it turns out the logic for that pearl not too strenuous today, but we still managed to shortcut it in a wonderful way, because we didn't have to go to South Shore just to go up the mountain to get our pearl. Actually, we're still not 100% in logic. No, we found the connector. There was a connector.
Yeah.
So we basically cut some travel time off of that pearl. We've got Hype Cave in Kakariko, it looks like.
Yeah. There's the Castle Tower key, or one of the 2. And we know that Ice Palace leads to one of the Front of Desert Palace opening.
Ooh,
and the glove.
Apparently we found a Turtle Rock big key in the back of the bar as well. I think I missed. So Kakariko's got some good stuff too. We got good stuff all over the place, right?
Yeah. At this point, we're kind of waiting to see how long until Bob goes back to Laser Bridge and Death Mountain to get his stuff. Or I guess in this case, he'd need to go to the south part of Paradox, or have a Light World to go to Paradox Cave.
Well, we've got the front of Turtle Rock and the Grassman's hut, and jkoper found Super Bunny Cave over on East Death Mountain. So he is going to apparently bomb jump. I've never seen anybody do this.
I mean, I guess it's not that hard.
No, it's I mean, it's the same as any other basic bomb jump. Probably saves a couple of seconds. That's an interesting. I never would have thought of.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Looks like we got the bandit drop down at the one place with a small key, so needing the hammer for that. It could be an important small key like Swamp, could be a very less important small key like Skull Woods.
Well, we found Ice Palace in the. Oh man, Coper found another great connector. Ice Palace in the Blacksmiths, and Super Bunny Cave lets out on the top of East Death Mountain. So that's all kinds of Death Mountain access today. And the potion shop in Spiral Cave entrance. Not a lot of good that's going to do us right now, but good to know if we get.
So it's like the almost vanilla Super Bunny Cave. Light word vanilla.
Just a different dimension, so it's pretty close.
Close enough. Oh, there's the. Ooh,
Oh.
that's an entrance people they're going to find as soon as possible.
So the funny thing is, I've stopped even checking that item because I always figure I'm just going to go up there for the hint anyway. So, but it's still very interesting to know where those are.
Yeah, knowing what's there could maybe make you focus more on checks instead of where's. I didn't see what that was at, but I'm guessing it was at the Hyro Castle.
Maybe was that where? Yeah, I think that was where he was. Because he hasn't really gone in the village yet. So
Yeah.
So that leaves us with the. Well, has anybody checked the sanctuary?
Found the other entrance to Paradox Cave at the right of the race game. I believe we're missing Uncle still.
Yeah, I was thinking we're missing Uncle, and I don't know if we've seen the bat, but I think nobody's checked sanctuary either.
Yes, that sounds correct. So one of those will be at Pyramid, one of those will be at Sanctuary.
Got ourselves a book at the race game.
Interesting. And it looks like the dam was at the main entrance of Hyro Castle.
Alright, looks like BobertJoe is going to go to the South Shore, and just since he's got a glove, just going to go ahead and walk over here real quick. So he should find his way to Paradox before too long if he goes that way. He might go the other way to try to get the rest of South Shore. Here, I know he died by many Moldorm Cave.
So like both of our runners are heading that direction. Oh, it's the big chest for Turtle Rock, which is another very useful entrance to find.
Yeah, there's actually a bomb jump that you can get this chest with, and it looks like jkoper's not doing that one. He's going to do the one that gets you to the main.
He's going to check the connector, I think. Yeah. Check the pot laser and exit, see where that goes out. Ooh. What? Getting all kinds of interesting exits today.
jkoper is just going to jump down and take on the Dark World. He didn't even worry about going back for the items in Turtle Rock that are accessible. There's one that's in the chain shops that's always available as long as you know where any of the entrances are. Although technically they don't have the logical access to that.
Yeah, he doesn't have much to actually kill them with, so... It's not a whole ton of reason to go back for the one item, especially when he has so much to explore, including all of Kakariko still. I guess I'll take the connector and explore Dark World Boys here.
Looks like Skull Woods was in the rock by the desert, and then now BobertJoe is going to find his way into Paradox Cave, get his cape, which will be his logical access to the Moon Pearl. The other question will be how long will it take him to go back for that?
Indeed.
Turns out there's a different kind of storyteller in the Dark Sanctuary than the normal one, and he lets us know that the front of the inn, I believe, is a fortune teller, which we would have already seen.
Yep.
So they have a lot of access right now, and it's basically going to turn into a cleanup of the world. So it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. But we've got Thieves Town in that one curiosity shop that most people don't know about until they play this.
I know I headed, and there was a I think the first time I did this, there was the dam there, and I had no...
Yep, 4 free items here, immediately available, and then they know where this is if they need to come back to it later, so that's always good knowledge. Part of this exploration that they're on with all this access is going to be building their map and trying to figure out how to get around where all the important stuff is.
Yeah, because we definitely are short on a lot of... there's the third sword that if anyone wants it after they get there.
And we do have some clue of where the boots are. We just don't know how to get there.
It's true. And a bottle on the ledge.
And BobertJoe taking a death. I'm not really sure if that was intentional, but I'm not also really sure where he was going. So,
Possibly hitting up Paradox Cave for those connectors.
yeah, maybe. Didn't quite make it though. And jkoper are gonna take a death warp out of Thieves Town and start moving towards Village of Outcasts. We'll see if he wants to take a detour into Skull Woods. Skull Woods is one of those like really questionable things that, when you get that way, because it could be you could be in a situation where you're cut off, which it looks like he's going to go check it. All the holes and entrances of the main part of Skull Woods are switched around with each other, and there is the possibility of you being trapped in the back.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of runners just check this front area and see if they can get to the main area before dropping down anywhere.
Well, so far this is not the good sign. We'll have to see where the other entrance left. There is a slight possibility of the drop down in the very back being one that gets you back to the front, but it's like a 1 in 4 chance, so it's not a guarantee. But
yeah, if you don't have an easy way to get back to Dark World, it's usually not worth doing early on. And I would definitely not call what they have an easy way of getting to Dark World.
The dam is at least not too far away, but it's still kind of obnoxious, yeah. We were on South Shore on BobertJoe's side. We found Aghanim's Tower under the rock by the Ice Rod Cave, and we found Meyer's Shed right next to
the big key to Meyer. Interesting. We don't have any way of getting into Meyer, but we have a lot of the keys already.
Yeah, so far we've actually got a pretty decent amount of big keys. We've also got a hookshot in Skull Woods, so this was definitely worth it.
Yeah, it was a good drop down now. And the small key to Swamp Palace, so very much paying off here.
BobertJoe going to go ahead and dip in here and get this one. Well, actually, there's 2 items available if you can do the Dark Room. I'm not sure if he can, but he can at least get this one free item. It can be a little hard or easy to get lost in that maze and get turned around, but you can also pull up a map and make it a little bit easier.
Looks like he's going to go for it.
All right,
he does
so
have Quake, which I believe will stun the guard. Or kill them outright. I don't remember.
I'm not really sure. I haven't used it in here before.
Yeah. I'm completely guessing here.
Looks like we found the good Skull Woods today, because jkoper has managed to make his way down to Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, it was not quite vanilla entrance. It was the left side entrance, but that still lets him get back.
And we've got Ganon's Tower. That's a great find.
Can't do a ton in here at the moment, but it's good to know where it is.
And BobertJoe maybe a little lost. I'm not really sure. I can't see what he's doing.
Might be looking up a map, is my guess.
First 2 items of GT weren't worth much. Doesn't look like Coper actually scouted out the torch, so he's just not going to worry about that.
Yeah, he's not seen the boots yet, so... Yeah, there's a connector.
Interestingly enough, jkoper has not been to Kakariko yet, so he doesn't have the glove, and he does run a risk of being cut off if he goes through that connector. He doesn't have a lot of stuff that can handle some of the entrances that you could be spit out of, so he is not worried about the connector yet until he at least gets the rest of this cleared out.
Yeah. It looks like he did get the Cane of Burna there, so it looks like it's pretty confirmed that that cape was required to get the Moon Pearl.
Got a Palace of Darkness key, and then jkoper is going to take advantage of this fairy, which can return anything that can go inside of a bottle, including just giving you an empty bottle back because air does count. And gets a B for his charge.
The least interesting thing you could get there.
And I don't think BobertJoe managed to get to the chest, but it looks like he's going to come back.
He did not. He got himself lost in the top corner of it, or maybe the bottom corner.
Yeah, it's really hard to get out of there when you get stuck in that corner. Coper found Eastern, which is 3 available items in logic, and a 4th one that's pretty easy to break. Looks like he is going to check the digging game first. We'll see if he wants to dive in there. He does have the bow, he doesn't have the big key, so no matter what, he can't complete this.
Unless the big key is in there.
Yeah, it has been known to happen. Vanilla keys are generally one of the worst things, especially if you're avoiding the place, and that's all that you need from the game is that one.
Indeed.
Looks like he's not interested in right now.
Ooh, flippers off of the Stumpy, though. It's definitely finding a lot of things in Dark World so far.
Looks like BobertJoe is reading the tea leaves, and he is going to take that cape back to Laser. That he should have on. Yeah, okay, I was going to say, don't see it on the tracker, but he should. Alright, bomb shop, just a boring house. Got a couple more entrances over here. If he had a glove, jkoper might be more interested in like swimming over to the Dark Eye Stroud area, but again, he hasn't been to Kakariko yet, so he doesn't have the glove just yet. Did find the other end of Hookshot Cave, and he does have a hook.
Yet another location that he was probably going to save and quit from, but instead finds a connector. Let's see where this one leads. There's only a couple more interesting places for this to lead to. Those being the top of Dark Eastern Death Mountain or the Mire.
I could be crazy, but I think we saw the other end of Hookshot Cave already in town.
Did we? That is possible. I don't think Coper has seen it, though, but he hasn't checked this last entrance either.
I forgot to mark it, but I do think we've seen it. Looks like, I'm not sure if BobertJoe got that last chest. Again, he doesn't seem to know the iframe trick, and he ran out of match. I don't remember if there was anything good in there. I remember the pearl basically being the most important thing on Laser.
Yeah, I think the last chest wasn't anything useful.
Alright, so there's one more entrance over here, and then jkoper could elect to go over to the Dark Eye Stroud area and orphan an entrance. He may finally decide to go to Kakariko at that point, though, because orphaning entrances is not a good. Well, he's getting healed, so it seems like he might continue. He might also just go over to the pod area. There's a few entrances over there. He wouldn't have to isolate those. And
your stun prize is a 5 rupee.
I'm not entirely sure where BobertJoe is going. Oh, looks like he's going to fake flipper for. Unfortunately, okay, he's getting that weird glitch where you get like fake water on the land.
Yeah, that one's weird.
Well, we found a one-sided desert here over on the eastern side of the Dark.
Yeah, we know one of those exits will lead out to Ice Palace.
Oh, did we get a hint for that? I definitely missed it. Oh, yep. Now jkoper is going to super regret skipping Eastern Palace.
I think I know where jkoper's heading soon.
I mean, it could still be on the Armos Knights or behind the big key, but I bet he's not feeling 100% great about skipping that at the moment.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that'd be unfortunate.
Looks like a small key to Ganon's Tower. Not going to come into play still until we get a few more items that can access more areas of Ganon's Tower, but we'll smooth out the routing a bit once that.
And a nice rod. Makes it easier to get to the place where you can finish Turtle Rock if that becomes required.
Always nice to see early instead of later. Bob is going to go ahead and fake flipper into the waterfall here. And just Hammerpeg Cave with a piece of heart. We don't need that. He may go ahead and buy the Zora item. He's got enough. And scout out the ledge, see if he has to come back when he gets flippers, which he does not know are very available at the moment.
Yep, he does also have, and he's not going to check the item, it looks like. But technically, actually, all of Coper's Dark World has been out of logic, I'm pretty sure. Because he had to bomb jump to get to Dark World. I don't think we've found... Oh, Hookshot Cave was the connector.
Yeah, Hookshot Cave would be one logical connector. Some of the stuff he got in Village of some of the stuff he got in Village of Outcasts is not really in logic, but most of the stuff on the south should be in logic, so he should be able to access the mirror, presuming it's not in the lamp lock side or the big side, big chest.
Yeah. There's the other rod in Moldorm Cave, and it looks like the other castle tower key was on.
Yep, we only really need the one. With the flippers, we know that's the last thing Aghanim could really be required for, so we don't have to do that today, at least. Well, I suppose actually that's not entirely true. There is that edge case scenario of the hammer being behind whatever's at the Pyramid Ferry, which is not going to actually. Nope, that's not the case today because Ice Palace is one of the 5/6s, so we are done. No Aghanim.
Yep.
Oh, and also I'm dumb because the hammer was a hobo and BobertJoe already.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. So that means there's definitely, you have to go get the flippers from Stumpy by using that Hookshot Cave connector, I think.
Yep, not a bad skip there. We found Swamp Palace. jkoper doesn't have that hammer, but he can get 2 items out of here if he really wants. Got another Pocky. We're getting a lot of those. Interestingly enough, BobertJoe got himself official Dark World access. Skipped a step or two, but jkoper also has skipped a couple steps here and managed to clear out a good portion of the Dark World.
Yep, looks like Bobbert will be going to get his hook shot here. You can see the swamp hint.
Not a very useful hint in this case.
Nope. Pretty much have to pass by there to get that hint.
Alright, so jkoper's got a freestanding item on the pyramid he could get, and then at that point I think he's pretty much cut off. He can't. Well, he actually could swim up to the one entrance over on the way to Catfish, so he could check that if he wanted to, and then he would basically pretty much be cut off of this route, and then may elect to finally go to Kakariko. He also might elect to go after the mirror before he goes to Kakariko. I don't really.
Yeah, he could go down and get the hobo check out of the way as well. Or he could be taking the teleporter over to Hylia. I guess he can just use it.
He still does have the possibility of going to the Dark Ice Rod area, but without a glove, it's not super attractive.
Yeah.
Of course, he doesn't know his hammer and his glove are available, but he's also got a connector here, so that opens up even more possibilities.
Yep, also a few chests.
They do have the key for this, and despite jkoper skipping a step or two, this is in logic to get to this entrance. So everything that he finds here in the back or in the bottom should be in logic.
Including that blue rupee.
Hey, that blue rupee, that 5 rupee is in logic for whatever you may need to buy.
Yep. That was exactly the number he needed in order to make his rupee number look pretty. Because, you know, it's kind of a palindrome or whatever. 969. You'd flip it upside down. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, anyway, so we'll see what the second chest is in here shortly.
Sorry, I didn't have anything profound to add to that, so I was just
the original wasn't profound to begin with, so don't worry about it. There's that hook shot for Bob.
Sorry about that,
So,
chat. I have no idea what
I
that
think
was.
jkoper had technical problems there for a minute because his stream started making some really weird noises, so he may need a second to fix.
Oh, it sounds like we had technical difficulties on the sound on jkoper's set.
Yeah, I had that. I have that one unmuted, so I got to hear all of that. It was very.
Oof.
Setting up a death warp here before he gets this last item.
Let's
And
see
he's-
how they
Sorry
go.
about that. We have switched over to BobertJoe's audio just in case that happens again, because I have no idea what that was. Sorry, Bob's is very quiet. It's currently maxed out, but, yeah, chat, you guys let me know what you'd prefer. The risk of, further noise or quiet audio.
Well, he seems to have fixed it for now. So, interestingly enough, mitts are in logic already.
Yeah.
That opens up a couple of interesting things. Ice Palace entrance is open, and the hammer pegs are open. Although doing those without the boots kind of sucks. And then we have our ever favorite Smith chain, a little bit of fetch quest in our life.
You know, the hammer pegs could lead to the boot.
jkoper, unfortunately, taking a bit of a death on the rats and or ropes in the dark room. In the dark world, they hit way harder, so it's a little bit more dangerous to navigate that dark room.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that. Ice Palace, I believe we got a hint to where it's desert, so it's not as interesting.
Oh, right.
Is a spot opened up? I sure hope I'm remembering that right still.
I'll take your word for it. I missed that hint entirely. And Hyrule Castle left, just eliminating a mirror entrance for us. So not the worst.
Right side gets us our book, though. Or a bottle, sorry. Book was a different entrance. Race game, I believe. Or a different overworld item.
Yep, and this not being mirror locked over here is another elimination for the mirror. We don't have a way in the mire area yet, but that'll be the less they have to do when they get over here.
But they did get or at least got those checks out of the way.
jkoper actually hasn't been over here well, I think he's actually just going to take this connector and go to the village this time, maybe? For what? I mean, like, he still hasn't been to Kakariko yet. So. Nope, he's going back to the dark room, it looks like, since he knows that the rats and the ropes will hit a little less hard now, since he came in from the left.
Yeah, that'll help.
He does have the fire rod, so that makes the Dark Cross a little more free.
We get the useless hint for the desert big key, which we already found, which is one of the entrances that Coper missed. We didn't have the lifty bit.
All right, so I think he's through the first room and he's in the room with the ropes now. Oh no, he's already in the Dark Cross. I heard
It
a
has
bat.
ether medallion. Interesting.
And we do have mitts and a hammer, so Turtle Rock actually is... We know where the mirror is, so Turtle Rock actually potentially in play at this point, the Turtle Rock.
Yeah, between our runners, we do know where 2 medallions are, so it's very likely that we could open.
Of course, logically speaking, if it's the Ether Medallion, it's not... We're not supposed to yet, but lamp logic is very ignorable for most parts. Also, now that we have that glove, jkoper, we're going to get an annoying check out of the way with the catfish. This guy's usually very isolated, and that was pretty much the best place he could hope to pick up a glove.
Yeah, pretty much.
I really want to see at what point he goes to the Kakariko village, because this may be the longest I've ever seen anybody put it off.
Will he make it to an hour? Let's find out.
Still finding a lot of good stuff, though. Kakariko had a... will have his mitts and a couple keys, I think, so he hasn't missed like a huge amount.
So, Turtle Rock small.
Yeah, not knowing where Laser Bridge is, we really only need one Turtle Rock small key in order to full clear the dungeon. So if you find more than one, you can waste them a couple different ways to possibly maximize efficiency.
He's going to continue avoiding it by using his flippers to go get the hammer, aka Chekobo.
Yeah, I think we've seen all 4 of them.
Yes, correct. I don't remember where the front was, but probably Kakariko.
So, excuse me, sorry. BobertJoe does not have mitts yet, so he won't be able to check the hammer pegs for us, but he will go ahead and check this connector I don't believe we saw. He could check the hammer house. jkoper didn't have the hammer when he was in Village of Outcasts.
Looks like jkoper did the fake flipper with the flippers. Classic, I do that all the time. Especially at that specific spot.
Yeah, it kind of gets in a habit to try to figure out or find the right pixel to hit the transition. I don't think we've seen this yet because BobertJoe fake flipper and he went for the Zora area, but we found Hera.
Oh,
we do have the big key here, so we can get a...
Yep. No small, but most people are not going to do the basement anyway. Ooh, there's it's another check you can do. And notably, Bobbert has found Ganon's tower with the hammer and hookshot in tow, so he can do a full left side.
Yep, he's only got 1 key, which will mean he has to use all of his keys to get every item on the left side, and he'll have to find more in order to get the right side, but we do already know where at least 2 of them are, so once he gets that other one, then he should have enough to fully clear the tower.
And he doesn't have... We have no idea where Kane is, and he doesn't have the fire rod yet, so anyway.
Yeah, mostly for future possibilities. Because, we know that despite this being Crystal's goal, the answer is always upstairs.
Very commonly, yes. Oh, there's our 4th sword.
I don't believe we've actually figured out where the magic bat or the uncle is above GT yet either, because I don't think anybody's got a sanctuary.
I think they have both managed to avoid that.
Ooh, we got a flute on the left side. That's pretty nice.
And
that
blue
puts
mana.
Meyer into logic.
Yes, it does. Pretty much, that's most of our entrances in logic now, with the exception of the top of Death Mountain. Eastern Death Mountain, rather. Death Mountain.
If they get the mirror out of Eastern, that should put everything in logic. They should have access to just about everything if they get all these pieces.
Thieves Town Big Key also in left side. So far a lot of value.
Interestingly, that's locked behind 4 GT small keys, and we don't know where all those are, but again, key logic can be pretty skippable. BobertJoe struggling with these two switches close together here. It's usually better to just drop a bomb, and if you don't have the K... Well, if you don't know the exact strat with the boomerang, I know I sure don't.
The red boomerang is the worst for this part. The blue is mostly okay, but the red one likes to just kind of randomly go off the screen for forever, in my experience.
Alright, so far GT giving us a couple of goodies, and still got 4 items in the rando room. We do have the bow, so ice armor shouldn't be too terrible to take care of. Don't have the big key, so we're going to have to isolate that chest for now, but they may be able to find it before they'd have to come back and do rights.
And if they don't, well, then darn, they just don't have to do the climb. Shucks. Yeah, it was the tempered sword in the Hera big chest, and
Hey, look what we found.
Silvers and the big key to Ganon's tower.
So if BobertJoe had that fire rod, and he were so inclined, he could just, do upstairs too.
Yeah, guess that works. Silvers are always nice to have, though, especially with Ice Armos coming up.
Yeah, that'll make that a lot quicker of a fight. He's got not very much health here, so he's gonna have a slight issue because he needs to bomb jump across that one gap. So he's gonna need to be very careful coming up.
There's a heart. That'll help.
jkoper is gonna go ahead and take care of the land molas.
Ooh, there's the eastern big key, so now he can assuredly get his mirror once he heads in there. Which he should be fairly soon after this, actually. Oop.
Ooh,
Now he can't bomb jump.
Yeah, this is going to be a slight problem here.
He does have a bottle, but it's just the B, it looks like.
Yeah, I think he's realizing that he might have a slight problem here.
Meanwhile, jkoper is actually doing the back of desert.
Yep, interestingly, jkoper had a couple of crystals before he ever makes it into Kakariko. Well, actually, we don't know for sure this is a crystal, but... And it's not.
Only one crystal.
I think BobertJoe is trying to figure out what exactly he wants to do here, but unfortunately, unless he can... Well, he might be looking up the path on a map of the path.
Yeah, he might just path and use the item.
He's gonna have to be really careful. Yeah, I think he's got a map. Looks like the old man saving quit comes out to desert right.
Oop, didn't quite get there. He just found...
Oh,
so that was where that one ended up at? Jeez.
That is 4 items that he 4 items that he unfortunately can't get right now. But he's thinking about going back in, I think. Nah, okay, he's changing his mind.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. He has actually still a lot of checks here, including this one we haven't seen yet. Or did he already? That's where he checked it.
I don't remember him checking it, but maybe he did and I did see it.
Interesting.
jkoper is now going to go ahead and take care of Skullwoods. He's going to have 3 dungeons down before Kakariko. This is fascinating to me. I love this.
I'm still rooting for that hour mark before he gets to Kakariko.
If he goes to GT, he could make it a couple more dungeons before he gets to Kakariko.
It's true. Bobert working on his first dungeon, though. He can fully complete this, if not in logic, but once again, lamp logic is not required.
Yeah, it's a little more free with the fire rod, which he unfortunately doesn't have, but there's a couple of different strats to get the room with the key Igor in it.
Yeah. Kakariko doesn't have a lot, actually, but it does have the Titanits for jkoper, and then, like, a couple keys.
Yeah, so far he hasn't skipped a lot, but
I think Quake Medallion's there, too.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, jkoper still managed to find another glove along the path that was in logic, actually, with all the pieces put together, but still hasn't managed to get Kakariko for that one. Oh, Turtle Rock leads to what now? I missed that.
The Grassman, which is
Oh, right.
Sahasrara?
No, the Grassman is the guy that's usually in the house in Kakariko with all the bushes in front of it, which is the guy with the 6 beds. And
Oh, the Mario guy?
yeah,
Hotel Mario?
he's Grassman because of all the bushes, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so far we haven't seen the mirror, so it might be lamp locked. Well, I mean, it is lamp locked. What am I saying? We only have lamp spots left.
Yeah. So it looks like jkoper is heading, or just found his boots. Unfortunately, he doesn't know how to get there.
So, interesting. I wonder where this lamp is going to end up being.
Yeah, not in any mirror locked locations. Possibly Meyer. There it is. So it wasn't blocked by the big key, though.
Yeah, the big key was so far blocked by, I don't know, some number of GT small keys, at least.
Hey, jkoper finally made it to Kakariko. Didn't quite make the hour. And
Really close.
He learned a valuable hint for his efforts. Aim at the guys of Goma. Or the singular eye, I should say.
BobertJoe is in this dark room with the Igor. It looks like he may be a little off track.
Yeah, he's trying to use the sword for it instead of the bow.
Yeah, if he had beams, it would be kind of okay, but I think he lost them kind of. Or he may not have had them to begin with, I don't know.
Ooh, he got him down, and got the key, but died trying to get out of the...
You cannot bomb jump the Spec Rock the other way, no. What you can do is if you've already gone in and picked up the item, you can theoretically hookshot to the hit tile. But at that point, I mean, nobody has any reason to go that way through Spectacle Rock Cave if you've already come up to get the item.
Looks like there was the big key to Turtle Rock in Kakariko as well.
Yeah, I knew there was a key or two here, I just couldn't remember which one. Got our mitts though. jkoper doesn't have the flute yet, so he is not quite got access to the Mire area. And
That said, he can get to Dark World Kakariko now and get to Gan's Tower pretty quick.
yeah, he does have a lot of reasons to go back. He actually has all 4 of the GT keys. Okay, never mind. I guess they are all available.
Yep, looks like, and they're all in logic then.
The jkoper, or not jkoper, BobertJoe is back in Eastern. He has the key, so he can ignore all the enemies and hopefully make it through relatively easy. Yeah, it looks like he got it.
Yep.
So we don't know if Eastern is a pendant or a crystal yet, so we should find out that relatively quickly. So far, we've actually only ID'd 1 pendant, and that's death.
Yep, and we have not found Sahasrara yet, so that could give us a second pendant information. Or
I'm
just
also
a map check.
I'm not sure how many maps we've really seen yet.
I've seen a few that we haven't finished dungeons for, but I don't know how many. Oh, there's another one. Never mind.
Well, the Ganon Tower map is very valuable. It tells you, where Aghanim is.
It's like Eastern was a crystal, so we now know where 2 of the non-5-6 crystals are. And that is Bobert's first crystal of the run. Not just under an hour.
Looks like the mirror was pretty much the only good thing in... Meyer, Skullwoods, and Thievestown, all crystals on BobertJoe's side. That's a little more... the mirror was pretty much the only thing of interest in Eastern Palace. It
Sounds like the last crystal is then either Turtle Rock, Swamp, or... and the other 2 are pendants.
Yeah, so that was Meyer, Thievestown, and Skullwoods, if our tracker didn't quite catch it, for BobertJoe for Christmas. Well, we already knew about Skullwoods anyway, but at least he knows now.
Yep, looks like jkoper is going to check this building. We'll see if he heads back into Turtle Rock, or not Turtle Rock. The area that is known as Ganon.
Did BobertJoe mirror the race game? Okay, he's got the book. Never mind. So yeah, he must have.
Well, it's been tracked for a bit.
I didn't notice what the entrance was. jkoper gonna dive right back into Eastern Palace. Unfortunately, without the big key, he's gonna get his mirror, but he would have been unfortunately a little bit better for him to go to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I think he might have been a little bit too focused on getting that mirror. Which I can't say I blame him. He knows where it's at and wants to get it as soon as possible.
Yeah, he's got a couple. Well, he's got 1 mirror check down here you can do and get this booked. Which, with all these swords, makes the tablets look a little interesting.
Makes getting out of Ganon's Tower a bit easier as well.
He does have the mitt, so he may go right back up to Ganon's Tower and then immediately get the Eastern Palace.
Yeah, there's not really many items we're actually looking for at this point, honestly. We're missing, a Canis Maria, most notably, which we know is required since Myers crystal. Technically, we're missing the lamp, and technically, we're missing. Actually, that's actually it. We have pretty much all the big keys we never need. Logically, we're missing a couple keys, but Ice Palace is completable with nothing.
Oh, well, I guess we are pretty close, aren't we? We still haven't found Palace of Darkness or Misery Mire. Looks like we found everything else. We do have access to every entrance at this point, though, once everybody puts all the pieces together that they've each found.
Yeah. The possible exception of a Bombos blocked Mire or Turtle Rock entrance. Actually, we don't even need the Turtle Rock entrance, so Mire.
Of course, we do know that only missing potentially a key or 2 could go on for quite some time.
True, but we actually aren't
Kane is the biggest problem, right? Yeah, Kane is the biggest problem, but that might be hidden behind a couple of keys we don't have, depending. Small keys, if it's in Palace of Darkness, for instance.
Yeah, that is indeed true. Though, looks like we have 3 pod keys on Coper's side, so 1 more that lets him check every single chest in there.
We also have the... Sorry, what?
Really somewhat slow, since the ideal way to do it in that case is to go around the bow side a couple of times, 2 to 3 times.
We do have the possibility of needing the boots, but we should be able to access those at some point. And then there's always the fetch questy possibilities of mushroom, powder, some of the keys like the Ice Palace big key, desert, small, things like.
Yeah. Yeah, Desert Small is definitely one of the big ones still. Thieves Town Small as well.
Yeah, the logically required keys that also open up an item or two that you can usually skip if nothing is in any of those.
It's like just a ferry on the left side of race game.
It seems like we could be missing one of these dungeons in the mire area, or maybe one of these items in the mire area, since we haven't seen that yet. That may be the densest area of entrances that we haven't seen.
Yep, jkoper just needs to get his flute out of Ganon's tower in order to get to my area.
And we haven't found connectors to a couple of things yet, like the Turtle Rockledge, I believe we haven't seen yet, which is got a couple possibilities as far as Mimic Cave, and whatever end of that is not a connector.
Yeah, it looks like Bobbert is going to be checking the ice rod area with the gloves, so we'll be able to see what's over.
Finding the wrong side of Ice Rod Cave in the wrong world.
Yeah, one of the connectors we haven't seen yet, though, as well.
Yep. Also, Desert comes over here apparently, so this was never a flipper lock.
Yep.
Or was it? I forget where all the others is a desert.
One was in East Dark World.
So theoretically, I guess technically
know.
flipper lock, considering where the hammer.
Oh yeah, the third one is the Ice Palace entrance. It must be.
Yep. Okay, so definitely all flipper locked in one way or another.
Technically, all flipper locked.
Yeah, jkoper has definitely seen GT. He just has not gone back there yet. He's probably clearing entrances to find the boots at this point, because they have seen the boots in Spectacle Rock Cave. They just haven't found a way to get to the actual boots.
He's also maybe looking for Kane to do right side as well while he's there.
Yep, that is another possibility. What was the... Oh yeah, the third entrance was a connector we haven't seen yet, but it looks like BobertJoe may check out the desert connectors first. jkoper has seen all of those, I think, or knows where all of them are, so he's going to probably check this connector we haven't seen.
Most likely, yep.
That is the good side of that connector as well, but since you can just drop down there and jump off a ledge versus having to traverse the entire...
Bob's gonna end up taking actually what ends up to be a shortcut over to Podding. Oh, or not.
Yeah, jkoper hasn't actually checked the light asteroid area yet either.
Oh yeah. Let's see his Aghanim Tower checks. We actually haven't seen that second chest yet, so...
Yep, still don't have a lamp, so it's still not technically in logic, but there are quite a few possibilities open for the lamp right now that they have not managed to clear, since the entire world is essentially open.
Yeah, it's probably buried deep in some dungeon somewhere at this point.
Yeah, or just in some obnoxious entrance that they have to travel a while to...
Yeah. Talking about Meyer, there's his Meyer big key.
Yep, all we need is Canis Samaria and the location of Meyer, and we're good to go. Alright, let's see where the East Death Mountain Ferry goes today. This is a cave that has ended many an entrance run because people did not know it had two ends and was a connector that they might have to use.
Wow. Talking about, there's some more entrances right there. Leading to the top of the pyramid. Or, well, top of the castle, which is the opposite of the pyramid.
It's actually very handy because it eliminates the need to travel over here with the mirror.
Yep, though we still don't know what's the item on the pyramid is itself. Hopefully not the cane, I guess.
Did Coper not grab that on his way to the catfish area?
I don't believe he ever came over here.
Huh. I thought he
But
had
I
cleared
could
it
be
on his way,
mistaken.
but I didn't see it personally.
It looks like Bob is not finished. Oh, he doesn't have the big key for Harry yet, which is I have no idea where that. I'm guessing
Pod side, I think.
must be a pod somewhere. Yeah, could have been one of those 2 chests in Swamp Palace, maybe.
I don't recall. I want to say it was somewhere on the western or the eastern Dark World.
Yeah, I think you're right. Looks like Bob is going to take that connector as well.
Let's see. I'm not sure where jkoper is going. Maybe
Turtle
to
Rock.
the middle of. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going for the items
Oh.
inside now. Oh, there's Bombos. So that's
Well,
all
there's our
entrance.
entrances. And we are
Well,
still missing a connector to the top of East Dark World, the floating ledge, which we do know has a small key on it. Well, probably not technically needed. It could be like the desert small key, for example.
Yeah, and while they don't have boots, they are aware that they're sitting in Spectacle Rock. So even though they don't have boots access to boots entrances, technically they do if they can just manage to figure out oh, there it is right there.
Yep,
The
the
big key
dam.
was if they just work their way through all the entrances, they'll eventually find boots and have access to those as well. So once they get all the pieces together, which we know where most of the boots, we know the boots are in Spectacle Rock Cave, then they have access to everything.
Have we seen the back of the old man start?
I don't believe anybody has gone through that. I don't recall them seeing.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any of the dark connectors yet either. I think maybe one entrance to a dark connector, but that's it.
Yeah, we
so
saw
one of
the.
those could head to the top of East Death Mountain.
Yeah, we saw the front of the old man cave at Flute Spot 5, but I don't remember seeing another dark.
Yeah, actually, that might have been the only one. That was one I was thinking of. So that definitely could be one of our options to get to the, like I said, the floating.
Yeah, that and Turtle Rock Ledge are one of our outstanding, spots that require a connection. Turtle Rock not giving us much of interest, so jkoper is going to go. Well, I don't know where he's going
to. Pop is finally turning on his flute.
Oh, we're going to go to the top of Bumper Ledge and mirror there.
Oh yeah, haven't seen that entrance yet.
BobertJoe did not go to the northern part of the pod area, it looks like, unfortunately, and has missed the Hyrule Castle items so far. He found one by the mirror, but he didn't go inside and get the items out of there, which will be his mitts and Zelda's cell.
Yep. There's one of those entrances, dark entrances that I was talking about. Could be relevant. Could also just be the back of Old Man Cave.
Well, we may never find the lamp to find out, depending on where anything.
I don't think we've seen the Light World DM entrance check yet. Oh, it's a sick kid. I do not believe we've seen this. Just giving away his life savings yet again.
Well, he's sick. He doesn't need him.
Looks like Bobbert's gonna find his hookshot cave. Interestingly, neither of our runners actually took that connector from Kakariko. jkoper because he found this entrance first, and Bobbert just because he just never routed his way.
So we're still waiting on each of the runners to put the pieces together to get to the mire area, but they do have the ability to get to the Dark Death Mountain if they want to. There are 5 entrances up there, I think. Well, if you count here, 6, since they would have to pass by it to get there. And I'm sure, given where the boots are, they're definitely in an entrance clearing kind of mood versus I.
Definitely.
We have not seen any of Dark Death Mountain on the east side. Alright, so we're going to see what the item on the pyramid is. That'll maybe tell us if jkoper skipped it or not, but I don't know why he would.
He might have been planning to route back there later with a mirror since he knew the mirror was probably available.
Oh, just some bombs, so if he did, he's not missing much. Looks like he's going to go after this map, which we found Lumberjack in Sanctuary. So I guess we were missing Lumberjack and Uncle? Not the Bat and Uncle, but I don't really remember where the Bat is in that case.
Yeah, definitely not mark that down.
So Uncle should be above Ganon's tower. Or past Ganon's tower. Alright, Graveyard Ledge. This will be some new info here. And we have Palace of Darkness. But we don't know yet whether this is a crystal, I believe.
This is one of the 3 possibilities for the last crystal, yes.
We could theoretically defeat it if we wanted to find out.
Yeah, this is full clearable with only skipping 1 chest, but not if he opens up the center here. Okay, he's not.
Depending on knowing the hammer yump, which jkoper should know. Getting a wonderful joke hint there for his trouble. The main problem with coming in here with this setup is the multiple loops that you would have to make through the bow side here if you do want to save your key. I would imagine, though, that he doesn't want to come back here if he can help it, so
yeah, it's quite
probably
back here.
Yeah, probably gonna sacrifice the time to do those loops in order to go with the possibility of never having to come back to the graveyard list. See if he goes straight to the boss here. Nope, he's gonna do a couple loops first, it looks like.
He's gonna head to the back. Looks like it.
Yeah, jkoper, well, he has at least 1 castle tower key. I forget where the other one was, but he probably has it because I think he's done just about everything that BobertJoe.
I think it might have been in Ganon's tower, which is the thing that he's been missing.
Oh yeah, so he might only have 1 of them because he's definitely done Zora, right? He has, right?
Yes. He has definitely done Zora.
Alright, so we got Powder in Palace of Darkness, so that's one of our fetch questy items that we could possibly take care of here if jkoper remembers where the bat is better than.
Actually, I think they got the first cast tower key pretty early now that I think about it, so he should have. Either way, Aga 2 is, or Aga 1 is very much not required.
The bats in Kakariko. Well, alright. Thank you, chat. BobertJoe on his Moldorm fight. Easy peasy, goes down in a couple spins. Didn't get knocked off the ledge there, so that's good. Gets himself a second crystal.
Yep, and that ties them up in crystals, actually.
Gonna get some hammer yump action from jkoper here. Save that key. And then I don't think he did the. Did he do the? He did the drop down chest already.
I don't believe he did actually.
Oh, interesting.
That's the trick with trying to conserve keys in pod is you have to make an extra trip just for the drop down key and the maybe not necessarily the bridge key, but he's also hasn't got that one, or bridge chest I should say.
Yeah, essentially you have to make at least 3 loops, I think, to get everything.
Correct, yeah. Did he open the harmless hallway?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so that's what I got back here.
Getting a little knocked around by the fireballs, but he got the item, which is a small key to turtle rock. Again, they only need the
Okay.
one of those, so that's not super helpful.
Makes it a little bit easier in case he had to burn one earlier, which I don't think he did, but
So BobertJoe going back to the Dark World. Not sure where he's planning on going yet. He still doesn't have the fire rod, which was...
I believe that was also in
somewhere-
Hyrule Castle?
Maybe. It was
That
somewhere
was-
on that side.
Yeah. Looks like he might actually be heading to pod himself. Which doesn't look like to have much.
Yeah, so far it hasn't really given us anything interesting. We do still have a couple of loops to make here, though, if we want to get all the items. We're going to do
yes,
Thieves Town, apparently.
Thieves Town. This is a crystal, so it's a good call. And you can do everything but the big chest.
Yeah, he should have the big key for this, right?
Yeah,
okay,
he
he
does.
does. Yeah.
I believe that was one of the other keys that was in Gan's Tower. At this point, most things that he has that Coper doesn't have is the Ganon's Tower left.
You can already do Inamizer with Crossworld. You can do Inamizer with any mode. Inamizer is special, though, so
Sure,
we don't do it at all.
interesting. I think it's fun in the specific circumstance of like Chaos Nightmares.
As long as you know the kind of crap you're getting into, and it is some crap. jkoper skipped the bridge chest, apparently.
Looks like he's missing 2. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He fell down before getting the bridge chest.
Yeah, so he may just try to orphan, or he may just like leave that now. Nope, he's going back. He definitely wants to get that because it is like the most in logic chest that he has in this dungeon besides the drop.
Yep.
So looks like he got. We're gonna do 4 loops today.
I don't know. He can finish after this, so it's not too bad. Just a piece of heart.
Oh wait, never mind. I guess he doesn't have to do another loop. Just kidding. I'm dumb.
So yeah, you using the hook shot on hearts, dropped hearts, actually has a chance of giving you extra heart, just from a weird bug that is kind of stuck around with Link to the. That's why he was using his hook shot there specifically.
Alright, BobertJoe almost through Thieves Town here. About to get the maiden's chest. Hasn't found anything so far. Gonna have to isolate this big chest, which, you know, could suck a little bit if it has anything good. But, well, he doesn't know that he's only missing the cane, as far as knowledge goes, so he's got a couple different question marks on his side.
Yeah, the big thing he's missing, or Coper is missing, is the left side of Gan's Tower at the moment. I'm definitely curious to see if this ends up being a crystal or not, though, for Pod. Especially since it'll be an interesting decision if Swamp ends up being a pendant, but it is very fully clearable right now by both of them. And jkoper knows where it is, while Bobbert does not, because he skipped that side of pod, unfortunately.
Alright, so we got a crystal on Thieves Town, or from Blind. We already knew that was coming. I missed what he dropped.
I believe it was just a piece of heart.
Alright, and then we got Helmasaur King on the left side, gonna give us a little more knowledge and another item. I have to leave behind the big key chest, unfortunately, but that's the sort of price you pay sometimes trying to be.
Hey, nice quick kill for jkoper using the sword there. It looks like it has our other mail up. And it is a pendant. So now we have the green pendant not outstanding, and it's either swamp or turtle rock.
So Palace of Darkness was not only a pendant, it was a pendant with a whole lot of crap.
Yeah, it was a complete bust.
But BobertJoe probably going to do about the same, although he may be missing some Palace of Darkness keys, or they just may not be marked, I'm not sure.
We'll find out shortly.
I'm not sure where the big key to Palace of Darkness was.
He only has one key. He does have the big key, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's missing the small keys, but he did get the big key at some point. So he is not going to be able to go nearly as far in here. So that'll potentially save him a little time if he decides not to come back here.
Looks like jkoper is going to check the back entrance of Skullwood. That's another entrance that we're looking for.
Yep, still have not found the entrance to Spectacle Rock with those boots yet, and it is definitely on their mind.
Or Mire, for that matter, yeah.
I know which one of those I'd care about more at this point. Definitely the boots. Fully clearable
How about
crystal.
the archery game?
Whatever.
Has the archery game strike your fancy?
My old nemesis. We used to have a lot of fights when Bingo was getting run a little bit. Until Inverted came along and everybody learned how to do that.
Hey, book time. I make things go triple boom. No ped.
Well, Pod just got a little more worthless.
Yep.
Alright, so where is jkoper going to go? He really has got to get to GT to get his... there's a couple things in there that he's really going to want. The flute and the Eastern Big Key for sure. Was there any really other good keys in there? I don't think so.
A couple interesting smalls. And then we also don't know what ended up behind the Ice Armos, so...
Yep, that is true. 4 items there that we did not get to see on BobertJoe's. Oh, maybe the Thieves Town Big Key was in there. That's right. He doesn't have it.
Yeah.
That's
Looks
the one
like
that's...
he maybe... Yep, there we go. He's going.
Alright, so he'll get a couple items that BobertJoe found a little bit ago, and then he will probably give us a little more information as far as the Ice Armos area. I don't think he will really want to climb just yet, even though it is 6 items and it's totally in logic for him. He's got a lot of other things that he could possibly check before he resorts to.
Yeah. And, oh, Silvers is the other thing that was back here. And that other mail upgrade. Yeah, this is what Copers has been needing to do for a little bit now.
Yeah, this will give him the access to the rest of the entrances that he didn't already have access to. So we may finally see a Mire area check on his side. BobertJoe looks like he's trying to save his key, or I'm not really sure what. I guess he's kind of setting up a death warp as he goes. He's really not going to be able to get too much further, which is really good news for him because there's just not anything in here at all.
Yeah.
Oh, he might check the big key chest. I don't really know. He keeps running into stuff and kind of pausing. Oh, nope, there he goes. I'm gonna say the big key chest would have been the one question mark in here.
Yep.
Alright, where is BobertJoe gonna go? Oh, he may be getting some... Oh, he's gonna do another loop, I think.
Yeah, he can go to the back, so he's probably gonna check the back area. I don't know if he knows the bomb jump or not, but he doesn't have the big key anyway, so... Oh,
All
look!
right.
The big key for this dungeon. In chest number, was that 9?
Yeah, if you're ever gonna see it, seeing it on your way to the big chest, is probably a welcome sight at least, because you know you can get that chest out of the way. Although it does open up possibilities that you're not as interested in, such as, you know, climbing.
Indeed. Well, hopefully after this we'll get to see a Meyer check from jkoper, since he can just quickly mirror it. He has fleet active.
Yeah, we already saw the the desert ledge checks via connector, but we do have checkerboard cave, and we have all the entrances in the Meyer area itself. jkoper may go ahead and take care of Eastern once he gets done in here, though. It is right next door.
That's right, and there was the Eastern big key in here as well.
Alright, new info on this side. What do we got? Oh, there's one bit of crap. Yeah, basically the location of Palace of Darkness being as stupid as it is, I think they're just trying to avoid coming back here as much as possible. Alright, a little bit of ice physics there, messing up jkoper, trying to get...
Yeah, ice physics are a little rough for that part. Looks like there was absolutely nothing that was missed behind Ice Armos.
Yep, BobertJoe did not miss anything, and jkoper is going to just nope right out of there. Not concerned with climbing right now, and I don't...
Yeah, if he had a lot more open up with that flute pickup.
He should also, I think, know that he only needs the cane, really, at that point, so...
Yeah.
There's not a lot of reason to climb just for the possibility of cane, at least. So a lot of other good places that could be. If you were missing like 4 or 5 more items, maybe.
Yeah, so Mario could be on top of the tower. That is one possibility.
BobertJoe looks like he is thinking about what he wants to do. Did he just hard reset? I think he just hard reset. Maybe to save his...
That's what it looks like.
I hope he didn't hard... I hope he saved recently.
Yeah, I have no idea when we last saved.
Alright, looks like we're gonna get some hammer pegs over here before jkoper goes down to Eastern.
Oh, that must be why he died in pod. To get the save in.
Alright, well, Pond of Happiness, but I think with Silvers and Tempered Sword, they don't really need any more arrows or bomb.
Yeah, it's not needed. So he's going to do Ice Palace as well, is he? Or not. Maybe he just hasn't checked this yet. Yeah, he must not have ever checked this area when he finally made his way to Kakariko.
There's the other pod key. So, again, we know unless there's something in the big key chest, Palace of Darkness, not really, those keys really aren't.
It looks like BobertJoe is actually heading back into pod.
Huh, that's an interesting choice. I mean, saves come in the key I get, but I don't know if I'd go out of my way to go back there right now. I can't actually see what they're doing, so I'm getting a little bit of buffer.
Looks like jkoper is going to turn on his flute, as he didn't get a chance to do that before. And like I said, Bobbert's just heading to the back of pod. Something, swag duck anthem.
Alright, well, I'm still getting all kinds of buffering right now, so I don't know what the problem is.
Well, let's talk about what our runners need for go mode. jkoper needs the Cane of Samaria, as well as the Mire entrance, basically. He is not sure what the last crystal is, whether it is Swamp or Turtle Rock, but he should be able to finish either. Oh, there's Sahasral, so we're going to be able to find out right now if he talks.
Well, I'm getting enough of a picture to know that he's in the Mire area, but that's all I'm getting so far,
Yep.
So I'll
Mire shed was the Sahasrara shed instead, with all three full hearts in the back. Just three of them. They're all full heart. Also, we found out that Turtle Rock is the green pendant. And Bombos was actually the Mire medallion as well, so it's a good thing he found that. So yeah, that's that. We're still looking for that Mire, or that, no, we're looking for the Cane of Samaria, I should say. Fortunately, Swamp will be an easy finish. Thieves Town will be a pretty quick finish. Really, everything will be a pretty quick finish. My bet for Kane at this point is going to be Ice Palace. It looks like Bobbert is working his way through the Pod Darkmane. jkoper has found the pyramid crack, and which had the map for Turtle Rock, of course. After we found the green pendant was at Turtle Rock.
Okay, and I think we're fixed finally. Alright.
Hey. Well, you have missed a bunch of, other than the Funzos Raleigh hut, there's not been much. We still have not found the Spectacle Rock entrance, nor have we found the Myron.
Well, took a death on Helmasaur King on BobertJoe's side. That is painful, especially considering that it is a pendant that he does not need. But, Dark Death Mountain is looking interesting, since we have seen most of everything else.
We do not know what is at the Ganon's Tower entrance, no. So yeah, that could theoretically be the boots. Which means it could theoretically be required if Mire is behind. Alright, no, never mind. We need to find Mire. Never mind. I'm thinking the other way around for pedestal. jkoper is finally going to make his way over to East Death Mountain, it looks like, as well as Hera. Yeah, we have not seen the pyramid crack either. We also have not found a single key or big key for Ice Palace, so that wouldn't technically be in logic, even if... Oh, we found it. It was at Hera the whole time. We are finally going to find those boots and hope that that hint is anything interesting after all this time of looking. We also haven't found actually the bottom entrance, exit to that, I don't think, and which we are going to find soon.
All right, so jkoper is exiting that for me right now. Is that where everybody else is?
You're a little ahead, I think. He just left it for me. It leads to the Turtle Rock Ledge, actually. One of the other entrances we haven't seen. Or exits, I should say. And that leads to Meyer.
Okay, I think I might be on track now.
So jkoper can't actually finish this, but it does give him a bunch of 6 more checks with the potential of having that Meyer cane, or the cane of Samaria, I should say.
7 actually, but I like that, the Meyer rod.
That's the Meyer rod.
I mean, it's not the worst ever to just dive in here and check. I mean, it could end up being something related to finding the cane in here, because, you know, Rando has been known to do stupid things like BobertJoe. Is he still in pod?
I believe he is making his way to Helmasorfor again, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately wasting a lot of time right now with that pen being a penny he doesn't need. Hopefully he doesn't spend too much more time on.
Yeah, it's gonna feel pretty bad when he finds that out too. So it's like jkoper is using the strategy where he skips or he only gets the one chest on the left side and doesn't get the big key chest until later.
Only one item from go mode, it's pretty understandable.
Yeah.
I don't know about a vanilla cane. We'll see. We've got a couple more chests left, or half vanilla cane. Looks like BobertJoe is taking another death and is going back inside. He's definitely reached a point where you should just give up and come back later. I don't, you know, you spend too much time on one thing and get a little tilted, and it can affect you.
Yeah, especially if you're not even sure if it's a crystal or not.
Found the small desert palace key on Coper's side. That could, you know, easily contain the cane.
Yep. Or it could be the big key to Skullwood, which has the big key to Ice Palace, which has the cane in the big chest.
Oh, we would never have such a crazy item chain in Keysanity.
That could never happen. Cough.
Just an endless string of fetch.
I've seen Stranger.
Alright, we're going to the fire locked chest, or the vanilla big key chest now. We're out of checks, so we're going to go and get that done. And then I think he's got to have to go back around to get to... Well, no, he already did the top of the Dark Death Mountain, I would assume. He's just going... Or did he cut himself off?
I believe he cut himself off of that. He would have to flute back over.
Okay, well, he could drop down and check the ones on the bottom at least without having to do all that.
True, I don't think he's checked the south part yet.
Okay, well, there's the fourth key to Gannis Tower that jkoper apparently did not have yet.
Technically required for Thieves Town.
Looks like he may be deciding where he wants to go next. He did find the boots, so he's at least potentially done chasing entrances for now and going back to chasing dungeons.
Yeah. He also found the boots and Meyer, which is the only real entrances we need.
So he can...
There's, I believe, a small key on the floating island, but that doesn't seem to be a required small key.
So, oh, he never even made it over to Dark Death Mountain. Okay. So he can clear Eastern, he can clear Swamp, he can clear Ice Palace, and he can clear Thieves Town. And there is not a lot of reason to not do all that, because since all he's missing is the cane.
Yep. Looks like he is starting that journey now at Eastern Palace.
Of course, we know based on the keys that he has, because he hasn't found the Thieves Town small key, that he's not going to find it in Thieves Town or in Eastern. It seems slightly unlikely to be in Ice Palace right now based on the extreme lack of keys. I mean, they could also just be scattered all over and you could be expected to gather them first, but...
yeah, but, well, Keysanity logic.
Yeah, Swamp is our biggest question mark as far as item density go, it looks like.
That's true, there are quite a few available if Hookshot was in logic, which it very much was.
Yeah, mostly it's because the you need both small keys for ice if the cane... Excuse me, if the cane is too deep in ice.
Meanwhile, Bobbert has actually managed to get the kill finally on Helmosaur there, and is rewarded with red mail for his efforts. So, at the very least, he has something.
Alright, so where is Bobbert going to go next? He still does not have the mitts out of, what is it, Hyrule Castle, but as of right now, the mitts, I don't believe, have really led to anything that we've seen.
I think there was something in my area.
Sahasrara, right? But we didn't get anything from him, did we?
3 hearts. Cough.
Well, BobertJoe may appreciate those in light of the situation he just was in, but he may not really care about those after. I mean, as far as getting, I don't know. I lost my train of. I had something going, and in the middle, it just poofed. Oh, also he needs the fire rod though, so he's gonna need to go, I think, to the castle to get that.
Maybe the mitts were somewhere else that he already caught, and fire rod was the one that was in there.
No, the mitts were definitely in Zelda Cell. The fire rod, I'm not 100% sure on. I thought it was before the castle personally, but I'm not 100%. All right, jkoper, just gonna go ahead and grab this sword. It is fairly convenient to get.
Yeah.
Question is, does he go to Swamp next? Because that is the biggest, the most dense area to get to.
Looks like that is his plan.
BobertJoe, meanwhile, going to take this mirror up here and I think finally get his boot.
That seems to be the case.
We also have not seen any of the boots related entrances, so maybe he'll find something interesting looking for those, or looking at those. We know that he doesn't have the mitts, so he can't check mitt stuff right now, so he may end up checking all the boot stuff first. Wait.
He apparently does have the mitts, yeah.
Oh, when did that happen?
Question mark?
Are you sure? I don't remember him going in the castle ever, but I could just be mistaken. Well then, I guess maybe it was buffering when that happened. Oh, okay, so they just haven't been marked on the tracker, I guess. And that we'll find out momentarily if he goes to Turtle Rock for sure. Oh, looks like we've got Super Bunny Cave up here. Wait, no, we already knew that on jkoper's side. Oh, this was where the fire rod was, maybe? No. I don't
Half
no,
magic.
half
actually.
magic,
Yeah.
okay. But we did see this exit on jkoper's side anyway. Alright, well, he's going towards Turtle Rock, so I'd assume that he does have the mitt. So where was Fire Rod at then? I honestly don't remember, but I could have sworn it was just somewhere on Eastern Dark World.
Yeah, it was not. He got it not long after the ice rod while he was over on Eastern Dark Worlds. It's definitely Eastern Dark World somewhere. I want to say maybe that was the Hyrule Castle, and mitts were not in Hyrule Castle.
No, the mitts were in Zelda Cell. That much I definitely remember. I just don't remember ever seeing Bobbert go in there. I thought it was something. I thought it was something like Hype Cave or something random like that. One of those entrances of it. Well, we got a big key to Skull Woods. A little fetch questing. Hey, he'll land.
That was available pretty early, honestly. They've had hookshot hammer and flippers available for a long time.
That they have. I think jkoper came in here before he had the hammer, but it was available at that time.
Yeah, I think he got this hammer soon after, but never had a reason to come back.
Yeah, he had seen the boots by that point too, I think. So it was definitely, and he knew where the mirror was as well. So he had other things to. All right, so BobertJoe's got a couple of entrances he can check down here with his mitts. Let's see if we're gonna get a look at those. Meanwhile, Swamp, he didn't do left side, I don't believe, but he did get everything on the way to the boss, and so far no.
Yeah, he's missed left side and the big chest so far.
Yep, we are going to get a check of the bottom of East Death Mountain here. East Dark Death Mountain. Two entrances over here. I really don't know what item entrances we might still be missing. There's a lot of them to keep track of.
I still think the only one we're missing is the connector to the top of... And it could be from Bumper Cave. I don't think we've seen the other entrance of this yet. I could be mistaken, though.
I don't recall seeing it. I'm not sure. I guess he's not going to check it right now. He's going to go over here instead. jkoper, meanwhile, is going somewhere. What's over here that he needs? Ice Palace, probably.
Ice Palace, I think, yeah.
Looked like he may have skipped left side swamp. Did we get a hint for that I didn't see?
I don't remember seeing a hint for left side swamp. He may just be risking. Maybe he wants the big key before he tries it.
Yeah, he does have a lot more items to get at Ice Palace. The cane could conceivably just be on his way, so it's not a bad chance.
It's understandable, yeah.
It's not super hard to get back to Swamp Palace either, so. Looks like BobertJoe is going back up to the top of Death Mountain. Possibly. Wait, no. He already checked all those entrances up there, dude. Oh, Spyro Cave. Hey, look what we found in Ice Palace.
Go figure.
It's not like you just left that or anything. BobertJoe has cleared out Thieves Town. The cane's not there. Well, with the exception of the big chest, which we don't have the small key for yet and have not seen yet. Alright, I think we're gonna... Well, he's got the mirror out, so maybe... No, I think he's going through Bumper.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't think he has. I know he has gone with it.
Which, what is it we're missing connected to? Floating Island?
Yes, correct. Yeah, there it is. It was at the bottom of East Death Mountain all along.
That was about one of the last places it could be, I think. And there is yet another GT key that I don't think jkoper actually has. I guess it just got excited and clicked all those keys.
Honestly, one GT key, small key, is basically 4 GT small key.
This is true. Alright, so where's BobertJoe gonna go? He's got all these boots entrances he can check now that we have not seen.
So he's heading to this place, which is something that I forgot. Spiral
Ooh.
Cave. I don't think he's actually been here yet, so I think this is a new check for him.
And I don't think it was anything particularly interesting. Oh, what a handy hint we
Was
found
that
here
the
in Ice
swamp
Palace.
left side?
It was, and all it contains is a turtle rock small key that we will never ever need in our life.
Cool. So now he got the big key for swamp.
Nice.
But then so it still might have to go back for that.
Still a
After
nice bailout hint for doing that scam.
Turns out the real hint was to do Ice Palace first.
Oh, got ourselves another Palace of Darkness key for all the good it'll do. I think that's the last one that we.
That's the fifth one.
Maybe, yeah. Alright, another shield. So far we're not getting a cane, but we got a couple more. BobertJoe gonna hit up Meyer area now. Get his last info for. Well, he doesn't know. He hasn't defeated Desert yet, I guess, so he doesn't really know that's a pin. Which I think, well, we just found Sahasral over here, and that's about it. Couple of chests right here. Oh, well, there's a map to Turtle Rock. Doesn't even need to talk to Sahasral now if he doesn't.
Yep, he found the map first this time. So that gives him that information. I don't know if he's seen the desert pendant yet, but...
Alright, skip at the big chest, because we don't have a key for that.
Is he gonna go for Iced Tea Room? Yes, he is.
I don't think Koper did Spike Cave, did he? Which we're about to get on BobertJoe.
Nope, this is a new check.
Which BobertJoe still needs the fire rod, not just the cane. And then they would be in go mode.
Yep.
Although it has marked down that he hasn't seen Swamp, but I think he probably has if he was over the pod area at all. Taking a death before he gets everything done in the Mire area, but oh, he's got a ferry, and also it wasn't that hard to get back to Mire anyway, so. Alright, Cold Stare being our last hope for the cane here in Ice Palace, and then jkoper may start checking some boots entrances at that. Or actually probably dive Thieves Town at that point, and then boots entrances.
Bobbert realizing at the last second he can just bonk into that, and he's gonna get his triple heart. Jackpot.
Probably wish he would have had those a few minutes ago, but I guess better late. Got Bombos, so that'll make this even easier than it already would have been with the gold sword and the fire rod.
He got a blue potion to refill his mana if he needs to from this. What does Cold Stare have? Just a piece of heart.
BobertJoe finding the other end of Hyrule Castle, which I guess he already had been in since he has those. Alright, so I expect jkoper will want to go to Thieves Town, and then from there check the boots entrances here on top, and then if he hasn't found the cane by that time, switch to the ones by Link's. And then he starts having a lot of random possibilities. At that point, if he gets through all of that and still doesn't have a cane, his unfortunately most dense option will be to go upstairs G.
Yeah, that is 6. Oh, we found a hint for the exact location of the mirror.
Yeah, it wasn't a chest that also happens to be a bad location here.
That's good times.
We know jkoper is not going to find the cane here in Thieves Town. BobertJoe has a lot of dungeons he could dive as well before he actually, runs out of options. He hasn't killed Mothula, hasn't done Swamp or Ice. I don't think he really dipped into Mire.
No, he did find it, I believe, but did not dip it without the key. I don't think it had anything, but...
Speaking of tablets, those are on the option list for oddball, orphaned kind of checks.
Haven't we seen Pod?
Seen what?
Haven't we seen Bombos, I mean, sorry?
If we did, it may have been while we were buffering, or while I was buffering, because
maybe not then. I'm assuming, I know Coper missed it, but I think Bobbert checked the ether tablet.
I definitely missed that as well if it happened.
Did they both skip ether tablet?
It is possible. They did possibly get excited by the boots and just dive straight into that and not even think about the ether tablet. BobertJoe finding the Pond of Happiness, but he has no bombs, so he's going to go ahead and spend that money. jkoper is not in go mode. He needs the Cane of Samara. Apparently, they both did, in fact, walk by the ether tablet in their excitement to get to the boots. Totally understandable. BobertJoe might be doing a Smith check here. Interesting. And I guess he actually did not check the race game entrance when he got the book.
Yeah, he had skipped the race game and the race game entrance. I don't think he actually has the book, so maybe that's why he didn't check the thing.
Oh, well, that would be a much better excuse to not check the ether tablet.
Yep.
Down goes Blind, really clean fight, gets a piece of heart in his 6th crystal, and now he's got choices. Most of them not super awesome.
Yep, we are getting a Smith check from Bobbert. This is a new one.
Yeah, I'm interested in somebody like checking these boots entrances, although I think jkoper is about to start that particular rundown.
I think if we need any more actual item checks that are left, there's not very many.
I don't
found all the 5s.
With the 30-odd item entrances to keep track of, I tend to lose track and not know for sure if we're missing anything. Like this one, for instance.
Like this one, yeah.
I could not have told you that we were missing.
I mean, if you brought it up, I'm like, I don't think we've seen that. I don't think anyone ever checked Checkerboard Cave either. No one's footed to 2. And by Checkerboard Cave, I mean which had Checkerboard Cave.
You raise a good point. I feel like Somebody might have fake flipped over there at some point, but I could be crazy. Oh, I think this is where Fire Rod was.
Yeah, that seems right. You get another hint. Go to the next room. Thank you, hint.
The next room being possibly a few screens down geographically.
Indeed. Yeah, there's the fire rod. And one of those pod keys that he didn't have.
Well, hopefully he does not take it back to pod, because he has a lot of better options on the plate. Alright, where is jkoper going from? Oh, Skullwood's big chest, perhaps?
He did get that key, didn't he?
Okay, so BobertJoe just never did the pod side, it looks like, really. So that he may not have actually seen Swamp. I thought maybe it just wasn't marked, but I guess he's just never been over.
Yeah, I don't think he'd seen Swamp yet, yeah. He'll probably full clear this, though. Except for this big chest, of course.
He might even do left side, which we know will unfortunately not get him much. Just like the not much that we got out of the Skullwood's big chest. Just
That
so
was
we got
a lot of not much.
Alright, so we got a... I think we're going to get a check on the other boots entrances now for Jacob.
Yep, so
Or
we have
not.
those... Well, maybe. He might be doing purple chest and smiths now.
He could even be feeling a little skippy and climbing GT.
He could indeed be going up GT. Yeah, it's one of the major areas of items, as you mentioned before, that we're looking for. Could also be... We also, like I said, we have smiths we haven't seen yet. We have both tablets I don't think we've seen yet.
Oh, looks like a smith chain to me, because he is diving, dashing. He's doing something involving a D right past G.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Down to the smith. If you can dodge a duck, you can dodge a ball?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds about right. Close enough.
If you can dodge a murder dactyl, you can for sure dodge a ball.
That is true. Those are not easy to dodge.
I don't think we've seen a purple hint chest, even though that is on the list of bad things that you might get a hint for, since it is potentially time consuming.
It is indeed usually pretty time consuming.
It's a little less time consuming with the setup they have, but you're not always guaranteed to have that setup, so that is why it has made its way onto the list of junk checks.
Yeah, I'm curious if he's going to walk down with it instead of fluting over to try to get that Bombos tablet check while he's down.
It might be faster to flute to the other portal and go in that one. I'm not sure. I think it might.
Honestly, that's not something I've ever timed.
Well, with the flute anyway, it wouldn't be necessarily faster saving. Does look like he's going for the purple chest though before he goes for GT or anything. BobertJoe making his way through Swamp. He's not going to get much that he really wants out of here.
Okay, sorry about all that buffering that's going on Joe's side there. If it keeps up, I will be refreshing it for y'all. Or perhaps his stream is down.
Looks like his stream might have gone down, so... We'll just continue on seeing where Coper ends up. It does look like he did... he's going to do the combination of both of our ideas. Walk it over after he's fluting to 5. Or 4. One of the numbers.
Right. Well, there's a couple more possibilities here. He seems like he wants to exhaust some of his orphans before he climbs upstairs GT and maybe get...
Oh, look! It's the big key to Ice Palace. It's so exciting.
I don't know if we got BobertJoe back or not. He's in some kind of strange time loop for me. It's almost like he's doing a little...
Yeah. Koper almost
It's
fleeting
in
away.
and out. It's all trying to sync itself, but yeah, it does keep looping certain sections right now. I'm sorry about that, chat. I'm sorry about that, comms.
Can't see what Coper's getting here, but it's a text box, so I assume it's a key and/or a compass map that we don't care about.
Map of Desert Palace.
Alright, well, I hope you can see what's going on right now, because I cannot. Oh, there we go. Maybe.
Oh, we haven't seen the right side of Desert Palace yet, and that is right where jkoper's go. Glad he remembered that, because I sure didn't.
Yeah, he's got that, couple of boots entrances, and a couple of big chests. Did he? I assume he just got some fun key or something.
Small key to Thieves Town, and another Meyer small key.
Yeah, I still can't quite see. Let me see if I can fix this.
So we've gotten most of our checks. So now I'm guessing that one of these chests has the Harris small key, one of these chests has the Swamp Big, and one of those chests probably has the mushroom at this point. I mean, because why not? Let's get more and more single checks.
And then we'll find out all along that you just need to climb GT.
All along it was just up GT. Oh, that's right, the mushroom's in Turtle Rock, so it can't be behind the mushroom. I had forgotten about that. Or I missed it, one of the two. Looks like we haven't gotten the Bonk Rocks by Link's house in Dark World yet. Possibly both, actually. Ooh, we have a Mimic Cave.
Yeah, he hadn't been there yet. Oh. Yeah, I'm still in and out, so you'll have to tell me a story.
It was a red rupee. Which is nothing. Which is, yeah. So, we're going to continue to the Light World Link's Bonk Rocks. And it is the single arrow. Cool. So that pretty much exhausts all of our entrances. So now we are stuck looking in for, except for, we do have the Pyramid Crack that is available.
I don't believe we've seen a hint for that yet.
Nope, that Organ's Tower. I don't think we've seen Ether Tablet yet, unless jkoper checked it and we both missed it. It looks like he might be heading to Ganon's Tower, though, to do that climb.
Yeah, at some point you kind of have to stop diving for all the one-offs and hope that the most dense option has which.
Yep.
Incoherent makes a point about the Ice Palace keys, but also, well, they could just be upstairs GT. Yeah, and then you're expecting to get the pyramid.
I mean, we could see, what, 2 Ice Palace small keys and the Ice Palace big key up here? Because why not?
Did see the big key in the purple chest already, I believe, so... I think jkoper actually has the Swamp Big Key and the Ice Palace Big Key. I don't see them marked. Looks like he's going upstairs. It's really all I can see. I'm stuck on a certain...
That's right, it was the IP big key. Just wasn't marked. I thought it was the Thieves Town small key, then I remembered that was a different one-off location that we found.
I believe from what you described, because I didn't see it, that the Thieves Town small key was on Desert Ray.
Ah, yes, that's right.
I see that BobertJoe is going to town, but I don't know what he's doing, because he froze as soon as he got... I think BobertJoe is going to Ice Palace, if I can see what he's doing. A little bit of a snippet of what he's doing.
That is more than I see. He is stuck in a time loop on my screen. And I'm afraid to refresh in case I lose Koper as well, so...
I am fairly certain that the swamp small key or big key showed up in Ice Palace, so that jkoper should have it.
I think that actually might have been the Skullwoods big key.
Oh, maybe. Okay, well, I guess that's
Yeah.
possible.
Because I didn't think he had the Skullwoods big key, and then he went and checked the Skullwoods big chest. So
Yeah, I've been in and out a lot, so it is possible. I'm still kind of out right now.
whoops, accidentally used ether there. Okay, so looks like I'm gonna try to refresh. Oh, that was the big key of Swamp Palace. Must have gotten the big key of Skullwood somewhere else.
Maybe in one of the other chests, not sure.
Yeah, we got to see what the floor looked like in that room. That was nice. Got the mushroom found in Turtle Rock hint that I missed earlier. Now we get to see what is on top of the tower. Another red rupee. Another red rupee. All the red keeps messing with my head.
Well, we still got a couple of possibilities left.
The pod map, which would have been nice a while ago. It's 2 swipes from Moldorm 2. There we go. And validation chest is a key to hit the Hera small key. Yet another orphan location. I don't remember if I think we might have got a hint for that one though. I don't remember. Maybe not.
Well, if it's not here at the uncle's, he has a lot of dumb possibilities left.
Nice triple on Agatu there. And then a 0.
About the only good news for him is that he doesn't have to do anything in Turtle Rock, since obviously that requires.
We know that the cane is not behind the mushroom. That is one thing that we are positive. Okay, I got Agatu down, so we'll be able to see a couple items at the uncle.
Alright, looks like BobertJoe's almost a cold stare from what I can see. Still needs to do Mothula, and did he not go into Swamp at any point? No, he did Swamp, right?
He's already done Swamp. He did the same order. There's the bug net.
Okay, so it's just not marked.
Okay, last chest. Bobbert was also already in Swamp. He did the same order that jkoper did. And it was just a piece of heart. So jkoper is sitting on 2 shields, not 3. 19 hearts, red mail, butter sword, and we are still looking for a Canis Samaria to try to finish this game up.
Alright, so for dumb options, we have Ether Tablet, we have the big chest in Swamp, we have the big chest in Thieves Town, and we have the big chest in Ice Palace, and we have whatever is behind the crack in the pyramid, which may or may not be an item at this point. I don't really know. I don't know if we've seen all of those yet. That is a lot of dumb, annoying possibilities. Honestly, the swamp big chest may be the least obnoxious to get to. I can't remember where Thieves
Ether
Town was.
tablet. I think I wrote that down actually. Thieves Town is in the Curiosity Shop, so it's a bit of a run. Yeah, we've checked every chest in Turtle Rock that is not cane locked, so once again, yeah, Mushroom will not be behind Mushroom. That's our only boost. Which is good because Potion Shop's in kind of an awkward spot, if I remember right. Looks like jkoper has already gotten the Ether tablet. I just missed it. Where he's going now, I'm not entirely certain. Hotel. Maybe he hasn't gone to Dark North Death Mountain yet. I guess yeah, he hasn't done this area. We do know there's not really much up here. A small key to Turtle Rock. Another small key to, I think I've actually been at Ganon's Tower small key on the floating island. Connector to the floating island. And that is about it. So we are on the hunt in one of multiple annoying places to find that Canis. At this point, I think we're down to Swamp Palace Big Chest, Thieves Town Big Chest, or Ice Palace Big. It looks like he's gonna check Swamp first.
That is the least obnoxious one to get to, I think.
It's a sad day when Pod is the least obnoxious.
Yeah, I think Thieves Town was. I
Curiosity
guess Thieves Town. Thieves Town isn't too hard to get to. So I'm thinking he goes Swamp, Thieves, then Ice, if it gets that desperate.
Ice is actually the easiest one to get to. It's Smith's, isn't it?
Well, I meant just in terms of like location and having the dungeon, because Ice Palace is actually obnoxious to get inside to it.
I was thinking, yeah, a combination of how far to get to it.
Because Swamp is fairly easy to dive to get to the chest. Ice Palace, you got to go through a lot of crap to get down to that big.
Yeah, same with Thieves Town. I think Ice Palace is actually, though, a little bit faster than Thieves Town just because of where Thieves... And it's in Swamp. Of course it's in Swamp. The real answer all along was to do Ice Palace first.
Whoops.
But we are in go mode. jkoper just needs to go finish the Misery Mire. And then go finish Ganon, and he will be done.
At least it wasn't the easiest of the obnoxious big key chest or big chests to get.
Where is jkoper going?
Looks like Bobert's going to tell us what's in the pyramid crack, which we know is not going to be anything we care about.
He was looking for the connector to get to Mire, looks like. I forget exactly where Mire is, to be honest, but I trust Coper to know that this takes him there.
For us, mirroring at the Turtle Rock Ledge.
Oh, right, Turtle Rock Ledge, yep. Not even mirroring, just on the Turtle Rock Ledge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might be right too. I forget. Should be interesting to see what's in the pyramid crack, at least for knowledge purposes. Although I may not actually be able to see it on my end.
There was one chest we had forgotten to mention. The pod big key chest. Imagine if it was there.
Well, jkoper would have had an easy enough time getting to it. The key that you found, BobertJoe might have had a little more trouble.
The shop was at the crack there. Where is Bobbert going right now?
I think he has a couple dungeons he hasn't done yet, at least on the tracker, but the tracker may be a little behind too, because I think he's already done Swamp.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's finished Swamp.
Don't know that he finished Mothula yet.
I don't think he's done Mothula yet, yeah.
Looks like he checked the boots entrances based on the frame that I'm looking. And looks like jkoper has picked up his final crystal and now can move on to skewering game.
Yep. She's ahead to Ganon at the castle. Looks like Ganon's very mad today.
He's usually in kind of a sour mood. I mean, Link's always killing all his friends and then stealing all his...
It's true, that is pretty rude. So, we got 6 sword slashes each for phases 1 and 2. I just gotta wait for Ganon to stop teleporting around. And then 4 arrow hits. Looks like a quick 4 right there. GG. Very nice band fight.
He's got a pretty good loadout. Gold, swords, silvers, and all that. Every heart in the game, save. Could have given a couple of hugs to him even on the way out. Your GG's in chat to jkoper, official first place time of 2:27.18. And then we'll see if BobertJoe is going to continue this adventure. jkoper will be with us in a minute or two. I think he's taking a look. Looks like BobertJoe is going to the Dark World somewhere. I don't remember where Skullwoods is. I think he still has. Well, I have Skullwoods mixed or marked in the light world, so looks like he might be doing the Bombos tablet.
Yeah, I think he's doing the Bombo style. Gets a lot of his out of the way checks. Well, out of the way.
The Skullwoods is right next to the Bombos tablet, so if he hasn't done it, this would be the time to do.
Yeah, jkoper has to be pretty close to like 190, 200 maybe. Yeah, I'd probably say actually just under 190.
All right, there's that mapped desert. If he didn't know it was a pendant, he'll know. Although yeah, he's got all his crystals marked at this point, so I think he's got the information. Yeah, as far as what's behind the cane, you have the 5 in Ganon's Tower. You have the Trinex boss himself, and you have the 3 in the front.
My Vitreous?
And Vitreous, of course, yeah, would be a 10th one. But that was, I think you were speaking in terms of which was what was not needing to be checked.
Right.
Yeah, surprisingly, something you learn in Entrance and possibly Inverted, there's not a great deal of Turtle Rock actually locked behind the cane.
Yeah. You can definitely get 8 of the 12 pretty easily. Well, relatively easily.
Right, we got a Skullwoods defeat and a crystal on BobertJoe's side.
Yep, it gives him crystal number 6. He just has Meyer to go.
Got to make his way back to the Swamp Big Chest in order for that, but he also has a lot of the same orphaned checks.
Yeah. Which one will he go to first?
Well, he already did the Big Bomb. He's done the Boots locations. He hasn't climbed GT, which is kind of where he looks like he could be going. Unfortunately, not going to get him. Maybe check the Skullwoods Big Chest if he hasn't already done it. I don't really know where that key was. Looks like that's what he's doing. I don't know if he ever checked the Skullwoods back entry. He's gonna be real excited to see these 3 bombs. Also, he seems to be missing a couple of medallions. I think one of them was deeper in pod. I'm not sure where Bombos was. He might have Bombos. I'm not sure if he would have Ether. I want to say Ether was in the dark room. It might have been Agnes.
Yeah, it might have been Agnam's Tower. I forget where they were at this point.
Of course, Bombos being the only relevant one, but I really don't remember where that was. Okay, this looks potentially like again it's tower climb right now.
He's checking a connector, actually, it looks like.
Did we even see anybody go through?
I think we did see this on Coper's side.
Alright, so where is he going to go now? Maybe not interested in GT since he didn't run right through that connector, but then he's going back to 3, so...
Is he heading back to Meyer?
I don't see why he would, because he did not get the cane yet.
Maybe he didn't actually clear it when he was there.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he ever did go in, so this might be the densest option for him, technically. Well, I think there's only one more item and he would be able to get in GT. The seeding was based on scoring during qualifiers. Andy was 47 because that's just how that reflected his performance in the qualifier.
And considering he did the qualifiers while he was kind of half asleep and without too much practice, it's not especially surprising. And I think he had unfortunate luck in both of his seeds as well.
And I think we were joined by jkoper.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
GG.
GG. Congrats on winning. You guys kind of both got sent on the same chase for the cane there. There were definitely a lot of places that were out of the way it could have been.
Yeah, well, I was running out of them in a hurry.
Yeah.
I know I had of significant places left the Thieves' Town Big Chest and the Ice Palace Big Chest. I'm not really sure that I would have. Well, yeah, everything else seemed kind of out of logic because of like keys.
Yeah.
Like I once I got to the top of Ganon's tower and got through the first couple of doors, I thought there's almost no way it's going to be here when I ran out of keys. So, I don't know.
Yeah, same with the pod big key chest. There wasn't really enough keys for that either.
Yeah, I think I was at least one key short on pod still.
I think we saw 5 overall of the pod big key or small keys. The other one could just be vanilla, I guess.
Yeah. Man, did pod even have a single thing in it?
Nope, just a lot of broken dreams.
Yeah,
It had the red mail.
Well, it had
Yay.
blue mail for me. Maybe if it did.
Oh, I guess it was blue mail for you. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
It had
blue
the
mail
red
was
mail.
on Kalmasaur, wasn't it?
Yep, that was the one.
Yeah. Could have skipped that, man.
Not really a big item. I mean, you had
there were
19 hearts. That wasn't quite enough. So, red mail. Was
Yeah, no,
very
it
sure.
wasn't. It wasn't. You're right. It was a scary seed. I mean, I died 11 times, so clearly 19 hearts wasn't enough.
You were one piece of heart away from the full 20.
Oh, was I? What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. How is that even possible? Like, I had a significant number of unchecked locations, because everything that was cane blocked in Turtle Rock and in GT for one, and then those other places I mentioned, I never found Spike Cave. I'm guessing that's either at, probably at Pyramid Ferry.
Spike Cave was somewhere before Pyramid Ferry. BobertJoe checked it. I don't recall where he found it.
Well,
I actually know it was in the Mire area. I think he may have just
Yeah,
Did
it was
you
my
either
area.
saw it and noped out of it, or just skipped it altogether?
Oh, that's not good. How did I do that?
Did you ever check Myershed? It might have been Myershed.
I want
Uh,
to say it was either Dark Agana or Checkerboard, actually.
Yeah, I did all those. Hmm.
It wasn't
That's
Dark
confusing.
Agana.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Or the right shed, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe I skipped the right shed, but I thought I did it because I know I did the left shed, and then I checked Meyer Main and checked Desert, and then I went back to Dark World and you know went right from there, and then after Checkerboard I fluted away.
I know it was somewhere on the right. I just don't know exactly which of the three it was. Off the top.
Maybe
Yeah.
it was right Myershed. Yeah, I can't remember. Probably. Yeah, I do believe it was in Meyer.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember where the Swamp Big Key was. That was obviously important.
Ice Palace. Actually, the first chest in Ice Palace.
Oh yeah! Wow. So all it would have taken to get a fast time here would have been doing Ice before Swamp, I guess.
Yeah, that was the main trick, I think, because that was a pretty fast seed up until that Meyer hunt or the Meyer hunt. I call it the Meyer route.
Yeah, it's
the Meyer
basically
route.
just it's another big key for Meyer in this seed.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody would have really wanted to do it in any other order without having the Ice Big Key anyway, though.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to take a risk, maybe doing Ice first might have been a thing.
I mean, you were taking a risk of leaving a big chest either way you went, really. So it's just there's more chests in Swamp, so it makes sense to go there first.
Yeah, man. It was kind of crazy how much stuff there was left. I just needed the cane. And it was almost hard to believe, Go Mode came kind of in a hurry. I don't even know when I hit Go Mode minus cane.
Right around an hour, I want to say, or at least, well, no, that was no mode for us. So you might have taken a little bit longer to get to the.
I think
to your Go Mode minus.
I think when you made your way to GT in about an hour and a half is when you had everything but the cane, basically, and maybe a little bit of a knowledge of where the last crystals were.
Yeah, I knew that the primary thing I was looking for in GT was the cane, but I didn't know that was the only thing I was looking for. I wasn't going to worry about keys too much until I found the cane. Then I would reevaluate and see where I was. Because
we had all the keys we actually needed for this really early. Like, you didn't actually need any keys after that point.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Yeah, I think, if this would have been a big race, a pretty good chance someone would have sub-2'd it, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
I was very fascinated by your routing because I don't think I've ever seen anybody manage to make such a late stop in Kakariko.
Yeah, I was well aware of it, but, I mean, the seed was letting me go to more interesting places, so I did that. I mean, there's a bunch of entrances there, but there's only one guaranteed item, or no, 2 guaranteed items, sorry. And, yeah, I had already found the best drop and stuff like that, so, yeah, it wasn't really intentional, but I got taken a direction and I went with it, and I think it worked out fairly well for the most part. The more interesting part for me that had a lot of hard decisions in it was I kind of close to each other. I kind of saw the boots, and then I got the hint for the mirror. And yeah, so I was doing a lot of routing based on, I don't want to go to this place because I'll have the mirror later, but I want to get the mirrors, or I want to get the boots as soon as I can too, so I'm checking all these entrances, see if I can find the other entrance, Spectacle Rock, and yeah, so it seems like it was mirror blocked in the end, which is good, I guess. But I could have had the mirror the first time through South Dark World if I would have just poked into Eastern the first time. But that's always a tough call.
Yeah.
I think you could have theoretically got
or
there.
something.
Sorry, I was gonna say I think you could have theoretically got there without the mirror. That was just the easiest way to get there. If you went through the bottom of Death Mountain to the top.
Yeah, that's right. I came out of a connector up there before, and all it took was the hammer from there, I guess. So.
True.
Yeah. And man, where was the hammer?
It was at Hobo. I think you had not
yeah.
found. I think you had found the flippers by then, but you were also just signing on that merry-go-round of connectors and had not gone to check anything for the flippers.
Yeah. I didn't fake flipper. I didn't do it most of so. Like
you actually, I think, went there right after finishing your Dark World tour, having all that stuff. So it was before you went to Kakariko.
Yeah, I did. The main thing I was looking for was the Eastern Big Key.
Right.
I wanted to. I mean that was the primary thing that I wanted to find, especially once I got the mirror hint, so that I could just do Eastern in one go.
Yeah, was that why you ended up skipping GT, because you wanted to make sure to get that mirror before doing it? Or you just didn't want to go in?
I mean, I don't even know if it was right to go into GT when I did, because it could have been so easy to have the boots first.
Well, the boots don't get you a whole lot in GT.
No, they don't get you a whole lot. They just, they make things a little bit faster, and if you can put things off, I mean, you're going to want to find those boots eventually, probably. I mean, that is 100% the reason I put off ice, because I wanted to find those boots instead.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, boots are definitely something you want to find especially when you know where it is. So. Yeah, it's a tough call. Especially since you'd already checked so many entrances, there wasn't too many more left it could have been.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, that's why it was kind of a priority. I mean, I basically didn't want him to have them and me not having them, so.
Well, you definitely got to them first. And we had ourselves a novel situation of the 30-minute one item from go mode not being a key.
Yeah. What's he up to right now?
He is missing the cane also only. He's currently kind of doing the same thing you were doing and did a few of the orphan checks and now going upstairs GT before he's left with all the worst options.
Okay. Was there something that made a big difference in this race or anything like that?
One of the things would be that he pursued Pod pretty heavily with only one key, including going to the back, save scumming it, and then immediately going back and I think taking 3 tries to kill him.
Oh.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest ones.
Yeah,
he also skipped the moon pearl early.
Yeah, you had a pretty easy path to the moon pearl with the laser skips. Well, you didn't do it either, but he didn't appear to know about the iframe trick that you can use to get the 2 chests on the top and the bottom.
Oh.
That negates the need to do laser skips, and he did not get the moon pearl until he found the cape and sort of was running low on options.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't work extremely well for me without the boots, but I mean, I didn't have any problems with like the first 2 skips.
Yeah, that last one that had a bit of an issue, I noticed.
Yeah, I wish I'd have had one more heart. Would have made it so much easier.
Yeah. The timing on the iframe can be a little tight at times, but it's usually pretty free if you don't get caught on the railings.
Wait. You're telling me it's pretty free when you were just talking about how you never do these?
No, I'm not talking about laser skips. I'm talking about iframe.
Oh, the iframes. Okay.
Yeah, no, I still suck at laser skips.
Okay, all right.
Laser skips will be free. I'll say it. For some reason, that was the one thing when I started doing entrance rando that I picked up pretty quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of freeze relative.
I mean, free is definitely a hyperbole there.
Yeah. I don't know.
They're not too bad. I use the sound personally to do it, to try to get through. But yeah,
Got a basic idea on them, but the timing is still the results are very mixed for me. Oh, apparently you got the hierarchy at the top of GT. I didn't see that because I was having some buffering, so there was another stupid option.
yeah.
No, I got that hierarchy. I wasn't gonna do that until I got more GT keys.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That I didn't see any reason to prioritize that. So, yeah. Here was the only thing I forgot to write down in this race, but then I realized I hadn't written it down and I remembered where it was because it was kind of interesting when I found it. Since the flipper just seemed pretty important in this siege, relatively. I don't know if they gave something after the hammer and Hera, but those two things were pretty good. So.
Swamp didn't have too much of interest, I don't think, so I don't think there was really anything much else behind the...
Yeah, I mean, we know that Swamp didn't have anything of interest because all I was looking for was...
Oh, wait, no, I lied. The cane was in there, wasn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah, the big chest. Yeah. But that's the only thing of interest that it had. So, Olive Ice, back of Swamp. Well, Ice had the Swamp big key, and then Swamp. So Ice had one important thing. Swamp had one important thing.
That sounds about right.
I don't think Thieves Town had anything.
Swamp had something? What did Swamp have?
The cane.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Not the main part of Swamp where we were like, going through just to kill the bomb.
Right.
Not like Pod where it actually had nothing. Uh-oh, Bobbert's going back into Pod.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Ooh, I gotta find out.
How many more keys does he have? I don't...
4 now, so he has a lot. He can do everything.
Oh, yeah, he's got the rest of them pretty much, it looks.
Man. If Meyer went to Crystal, I think I might have sub-2'd.
Yeah, Pod being absolute garbage was not a feel-good moment for this seed. It was just there's so nothing.
And that was my second pendant. I had already cleared Desert. I should have cleared Desert the first time I walked by it when I went swimming. But I for one didn't think about it, and two, I was debating if I wanted to try to save scum the small key, but it didn't really seem like it would be very practical based on what I knew. So I just said, I'm just going to beat this and then I'll keep it. I mean, if I would have known what was at the pedestal, I certainly would have reset after beating Desert, but I didn't know, so... of course, there was nothing in Desert anyway, in any part of it. But...
There was a useless orphan location key.
Oh yeah, that was where the Thieves Town spawn was, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
I think so, yeah. One of the either the big, I think the IP big key was at Bombos.
Ice Palace Big Key was purple chest, I think.
Or purple chest. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate to find. I didn't really want it.
Yeah, we just kept finding more and more keys to one-off places like Skullwoods and Swamp and Ice Palace and Thieves Town, etc., etc. It was just a big 20. Dang it! Where was that last piece of heart?
I don't know. I mean, it must be behind the cane because I don't think you had any that you didn't pick up.
Other
I
than
don't
those
remember
random
any.
big chests.
Yeah. I mean, there were spots I didn't check, like I said.
Yeah, I mean it's probably like behind Turtle Rock or something, or right side GT. That's the most likely locations.
Well, depending on the order that BobertJoe does things in, we may find out.
Well, I mean, if he shouldn't end up doing Turtle Rock or Right Side GT.
Yeah, if it's in the Ice Palace Big Chest, though, and he decides to go for that first, maybe.
I had everything, though, except for the mushroom, which I knew was in Turtle Rock. But I had everything else. Or I
True.
missed in the mirror shield, I guess.
Oh yeah, Mirror Shield.
So, you know, this 183, that feels actually kind of low for cross keys for me. I'm used to getting higher numbers, but it was good. I don't know. I guess this seed was okay. I thought some of the early routing was fun, and then once I got to the mirror boots part, I started getting a little stressed, and then when I got to the cane, then I was really worried. But I guess it seems like I shouldn't have been. I don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely fun routing. It was a lot of locations you kept being like, I was assuming you're getting ready to save and quit out, and then you'd find another connector that led somewhere, and then you'd follow that for a while, find another connector at the end of that. Happened a couple times at least.
Yeah, we thought you were going to get cut off near next to Catfish, and then it was Hyrule Castle, and then it also had a glove for you since you hadn't found a glove yet, so you were able to check Catfish. It was all just kind of working.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lots of
that
little.
was some interesting sequence. Oh, I never did
Got
the.
some buffering going on Bobbert's side. Apologies.
No, I did do it. Oh man, that rat in Escape just destroyed me.
Yeah, the Dark World, taking on the Dark World properties. Yeah, you didn't make it very far before they took you out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's better than almost making it there, but I didn't really expect to have that big of an issue, you know, because I had like hook shot and fire rod and everything, but for some reason he just didn't respect my sword. I was trying to poke him out of my way, but he was having none of that. So yeah, I came back with the light world enemies. It's weird. You know, I did several death warps after I knew the probable mirror location, but I couldn't like reroute around that somehow, so I just went with it. I don't know. It was a weird situation, kind of. So. Thanks so much, guys, for commentating, tracking, and restreaming, as always.
Yeah, looks like we are lost the stream possibly, so I'm not sure if we lost internet there or what's going on.
Well, he's
either way.
He's on flying on IRC as well.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's time to call it?
Might mean we are getting ready to call it.
I
We'll
transitioned us over to the interview screen because staring at a black window is not super interesting.
All right, yeah, we should probably go. We should probably go ahead and wrap up. Then he should be done before too long, assuming his internet recovers.
Yeah, I hope his
Yeah.
computer didn't crash or something like that.
Ooh, yeah, that would be unfortunate.
I think he's had a couple of internet hiccups through the run. So. But GG to jkoper. Moving on to face Amazing Ampharos, I believe.
Yes.
In the
All
losers
right, so
bracket?
that should be an Yeah, that should be.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, race gem.
So that should be an interesting race. You guys are both done a lot of entrants in your day, and unfortunately, BobertJoe is eliminated from the tournament, and so we'll see another hype race here soon between you guys. GG to you. Thanks to Freddie Mycocom and our trackers and our restreamer.
Yep, just want to let folks know we do have five more races on the schedule for tomorrow. Don't know where all of them are going to be showcased at just yet. That still has yet to be assigned. Or no,
So the
looks
first
like it
one
has.
of the day?
First one of the day is intended for here back on ZSR. Recidador versus Waterloo, and I'm sure you guys will correct me if I'm mispronouncing names.
I think I know at least one of those guys.
I think one of them might be here right now. I'm not sure. Rusty, have you heard of this Recidador person?
I've heard rumors about them. I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm sure this Waterloo guy will kick his ass, so it's fine.
Hey, you joke, but I'm not entirely sure you're not telling.
Apologies, It's almost midnight where I'm at, and I just opened a giant spreadsheet that has 36 lines of upcoming races, so apologies.
That's fine.
Anyway, we also tomorrow have at 3 p.m. Eastern, Act the Boker versus Haunted Quest. At 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we have Korek versus Maximum Barrage. At 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Dazed Cloud versus Arborelia. And at 10 p.m. Eastern, we have Frostbite 3030 versus Shireen 18. So,
I have a few interesting races.
Yep. Once again, I'd like to say thank you to the trackers and Lost to restreaming for us. The trackers did a wonderful job, as did Recidador. And go ahead and take us out. Recidador or Lost, pick one.
I think you said it all. Unless anybody else has any final thoughts, thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you about 2 p.m. tomorrow for a race between me and
I just wanted to say I haven't talked to AA yet, but I'm probably going to try to get that race in the next few days here, probably because I'll be out of town for a couple weeks. So we'll see if that happens and add that to the schedule. But thanks again.
Everybody sleep well or have a lovely morning, depending on wherever the heck you are at. We'll see you back here in not very long, in what's that, 12-ish hours for more Link to the Past Cross Keys tournament. Have a good night, folks, or good morning, or whatever it is where you're at.